Yo, what is good? I came in a few minutes earlier than what I projected to, but so what, man? I wanted to just give a little early time, see if some people come in a little early, and y'all please jab that like button, man, and I will have the link in there in the chat for people that want to come on. You know what I mean? So the link will be is right here in the chat. So if you want to get on the show, come on, feel free, speak your piece. And you already know what the rest is. So who I got off in here, man? Let me see who all off I got in here. Please identify yourself. That would be amazing. So I can know who I'm conversing with. But I will hopefully I am gonna have a guest or two. I don't know how many people gonna come on the panel, but I am expecting a couple of people to come on, and gonna just see how the show flow. We're gonna talk about kind of the link in the chat. I got the link for you. I just got to finish listening to you. Yeah, I got the link for you, Kondo. So you go ahead and click that link too. If you want to get on. I don't want you ducking today. Or maybe come to Duval and come get you, Kondo. You understand what I'm saying? Don't make me come see you now. Ain't that what you tell me? Don't make me come pull up on you now, Trap. Maybe come see you, Kondo. Don't be running from the smoke now. Uh, I just heard your little live stream. I ain't hear all. I heard about 90% of it. But no, it was a good one though, Kondo. It was a good one, man. It was a good one. But like I said, let me see who I got here. It must be Kondo, boy. It must be him. Boy, look at he always this famous. Okay. Yo, yo,
Yo, Trap was good, bro.
what's good, famous? Hey, hey, hey.
I see you hit me, but I was doing something, but I saw you go
Yeah,
live. So I said,
yeah, I'll hit you because I wanted to see if you want to jump on, man. What's good with it, Mr. J Dub? You already know what it is, man. Straight cooling over here. You know what I mean? We'll talk about a little bit of boxing. Probably gonna have a couple more people on the panel. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm trying to get Connor on here. Connor be ducking me, man. He don't want none of this Central Florida flame over here. You understand what I'm saying? He don't want none of this Central Florida flame. But it's all good. But yeah. So I know you say you didn't really see too much last night, though, did you? Or you was watching some of
um, to be honest with you, I just want to salute the chat, salute the Trap House, boxing channel for doing live. He come on sporadically, so when I get the chance to jump on, I hop on. I haven't been doing anything on my channel as of lately, so salute to you in the chat and in Florida for the beautiful weather. But yeah, I just saw highlights of the hooker in the Ortiz fight, and you want me to elaborate on that
Yeah,
overall?
man. Talk about whatever you want to talk about, bro.
All right, so yeah, so pretty much from when this fight was announced, I said, "Gosh, it was like one of those pivotal moments where I'm like, dang, Hooker is really going to face Ortiz," and I didn't believe it was signed. Like I was doing a live stream, people was telling me this, and people was like, "Yeah, it's signed and delivers in March. I think this is in January, I believe." And I said, "Dang." I said, "You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take my hat off to Maurice Hooker because he's gonna get stopped in this fight. But I'm gonna take my hat off because he's a warrior for even taking that fight. I know a lot of people don't even want to take that fight, especially like somebody like Maurice Hooker. Um, at this point in his career, didn't he just come off the Ramirez knockout or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. That was the first loss.
Yeah. So that to me was kind of weird for him to go in with somebody like Virgil Ortiz, but it goes to show you the heart that Maurice Hooker has. Now, from the outgate, even from what I saw, the clips that I saw, Virgil Ortiz was able to get in on the inside very easy from the beginning, and the way he was doing that is, Maurice Hooker. I don't know if that jab was affecting Ortiz or not, but I'm like, God damn, he's in already. You know what I'm saying? Like he's getting past the
Hmm.
jab already. And another way how he was setting up a lot of shots was, I don't know if people were seeing it, but he was throwing the overhand right so he could throw a left hook to the body or uppercut to the body. And that's how he was starting to set up a lot of his shots. He was doing that a lot, whether even if the overhand right was to even if he knew it wasn't going to land, he would just take control of the head and throw something to the body, and that's how he was setting things up. So he got past the jab, and I guess Robert Garcia was working on that in camp. But Robert Garcia, when he has a fighter that's dedicated, such as a Marcus Maidana, a Mikey Garcia, or Virgil Ortiz, you know, they become the best versions of themselves. Josecito Lopez, even though he loses, but I think Robert Garcia knows how to push the fighters to the next edge. Um, Not saying he could do that with all his fighters, but a lot of his fighters that have that heart, he knows exactly how to push him. So I'm gonna take my hat out to Robert Garcia for that. But I just knew that Hooker was gonna lose. I think Virgil Ortiz is too strong, um, too experienced at welterweight for somebody like Maurice Hooker to be coming up from 140 to 147 and then face him. That was kind of ridiculous to me. But it went exactly how I expected. I knew Ortiz. I don't even think Ortiz lost a round, even on scorecards. But even from what I saw from the highlights, it just looked like it was gonna be total slaughter regardless. So that's what I saw, and I was like, murder she wrote. So that's pretty much from what I saw last night. I didn't see anything else. As far as Virgil Ortiz and him facing Terrence Crawford, um, if they want to make that fight, make that fight. But I'm not pushing for that fight, or I don't care to see that fight. That's just like saying if Jerron Ennis beat Lipinets, he should face Earl next, which is like, they probably do the same thing. But, to me, I think it's pointless fights at this time. Ortiz, I don't think he has what it takes to beat Earl or Crawford. I think Crawford is just a bit too much for him. I think Crawford, like we spoke earlier, Crawford punch variation is too much. His length, he's going to be able to use his length. You're not going to be able to smother Crawford all night. You know what I'm saying? A Hooker didn't tie up at all. Crawford just got different tactics that he can use. You know what I'm saying? To, nullify somebody like Ortiz, and him shelling up like that and thinking you're going to be able to throw jabs and overhand rights. Crawford going to counter that type of stuff. So I don't want to see that fight next, but if it happens, it happens. They're in the same weight class. If they're pushing for it, I'd rather not see it, but if it happens, I got Crawford beating him.
Got you. Hold on 1 second. Let me salute Condo Local Sports in the building. And let me go
Hey,
ahead
what's
and recap
good?
real quick. What's good, family? And
What's good?
if y'all ain't subscribed to famous AAA and Condo Local Sport, y'all please do so. A shout out to Mr. Sheldon Holmes Sheldon Holmes in the building, man. What's good with you, fam? You already know what time it is. I'm gonna go ahead and let Condo Loco speak his piece on whatever you want to go on, bro. You just it ain't no particular order. Just go ahead and speak your piece. I'm gonna mute my mic.
Well, I think you was talking about that Virgil Ortiz fight with Hooker, man. I thought it was a good fight. Um, I honestly thought that Maurice Hooker fought the wrong fight, man. I mean, he was fighting the right fight at times, but then he got to the point where he started engaging in the little wars, and I think that was his downfall right there. But then again, we already know that about him, that he switches to that gear anytime he gets hit or something, man. He wants to go to war instead of just go ahead and keep boxing, man. His jab was beautiful. He touched up Virgil Ortiz. I mean, if you saw Virgil Ortiz face at the end of the fight, man, he was getting banged up a lot, man. So, but shout out to Virgil Ortiz for pushing through, man, and getting that work in, and he got him out of there. So you got to respect it, and hey, you got to give him props, man. He beat a good Maurice Hooker, man. He really did. Now I know Maurice Hooker hurt his hand in that fight when he took a knee, but when I was watching that fight, I always had this feeling, man, when is it coming? When is it coming? He gonna land that shot. It's coming. It's coming. So I never felt like Maurice Hooker was in control of the fight. It always felt like it's just a matter of when this fight is gonna be over. Because I don't know how to explain it other than I had that feeling and the way the fight was unfolding. I'm like, man, it's just a matter of time before Ortiz catches him, and then this lights out, and that's game over, man. That's how I saw that fight. I'm gonna go ahead and address, what he said after the fight about one Bud Crawford. Listen,
Hold on,
I don't.
before you get to that, let
Mm.
me go ahead and wrap up my piece on the fight, and then we're gonna get to that part. All right.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, but all right. So I agree with you everything what you said about the Hooker fight and what you feeling, I'm finna articulate what you feeling because this is what I pretty much predicted, and I didn't make it the prediction video, but I said it earlier in my live stream. This is the reason why I picked Ortiz to beat Maurice Hooker. For one, I know Hooker is not disciplined enough to stick to the game plan. He's not gonna fight tall the whole fight. He likes to fight. He's gonna give his height up, and at some point in time, it's gonna be a bad recipe for a disaster against Virgil Ortiz. You know what I mean? That's just bottom line. I knew that was gonna happen, and I said it was gonna be from 5 to 6, which is I was off around. Okay, yeah, I knew it, but it was just a matter of time where I knew he was gonna get. I thought he was gonna get knocked out. I didn't think he was gonna hurt his hand, but I thought he was gonna get knocked out cold, which was gonna eventually happen as well too. But that's what you saying. That feeling you had, it's that lack of discipline. You know he don't have it. He don't have the discipline to stay on the outside and box. He just don't have it. He never has. You know, and that's another reason why I wanted to see him and Robert Easter fight at 145. He turned the fight down at 145 because he said he couldn't weight 140 no more. But he should have took that fight with Robert Easter at 145 and then worked his way into welterweight. You know what I mean? But hey, it is what it is, man. But go ahead, you can get to that next part of what you want to talk about.
Nah, like I honestly I don't have a problem with him wanting to fight Crawford or the Spence or whoever, you know. I mean, you know, obviously he mentioned Crawford at first. I don't think he beats Crawford, but I don't have a problem with watching the fight. Like, who are we to say? See, this is the problem with the boxing people right now, the boxing fans. You know, they say, you know, that people are fighting bums. They should dare to be great, this and that. And then when a young man like Virgil Ortiz says, I'll fight Crawford. If he lets me fight him, I'll fight him. It doesn't even matter if he win, lose, or draw, man. Don't you want to see that?
Put him in there. Hold
on we can't have it both ways.
The link is in the chat, man, if you want to hop on. Go ahead, Kano.
I just want to salute to Stormy B, man. He out there on that. I see him in the chat, man. So salute to Stormy B, man. Y'all subscribe to Stormy B, man. If you haven't, man, my goodness, knowledge. But yeah, man, fans, you know, they wanna crucify fighters for not fighting better competition, and then they want to crucify fighters for wanting to fight competition. So what the hell kind of sense does that make? I don't understand the fans of today, bro. What is wrong with them, bro? Like, somebody explain it to me.
See, my stance with Ortiz and Bud, look, I don't have a problem with it. Do I think he ready? No, but who am I to say that if you put him in the ring that he won't raise the level up? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that. He may have to just be a flat-footed fighter right now, but who's to say that he won't come up with a different game plan? I'm not saying that he can come up with that his next game plan is going to work if he fight Bud next. I'm not saying any of that, but we don't really know what he truly got. He looks one-dimensional, but sometimes when you put these guys in there with the on the top level, you know, they can raise the bar a little bit. So who knows? I don't mind seeing the fight, but at the end of the day, I do think Bud would beat him. But if it happened, it happened. So what? Put him in there.
Put him in there. He's young. He's 22 years old. A loss at this point of his career is not going to ruin him. You know what I'm saying? And he does have a puncher's chance against Bud, because Bud does tend to get clipped. You know, I would still let me very clarify. I would still pick Bud Crawford to whoop his ass, but don't think that Virgil Ortiz don't have a shot at landing something good on him now and changing the whole trajectory of the fight. You know, I mean, this is why we want to see the fights. This is why I don't have a problem with them calling each other out. This is why I don't have a problem with them seeking each other like that. You know, dare to be great. The best fight the best. Hey, what's wrong with that? That's what boxing should be and always was about back in my days. And that's what it is getting away from. And it needs to get back to that. And we need to stop crucifying these boxers, you know, that get a loss on their record, because you know, if they're daring to be great and they somehow lose, you want to crucify them all of a sudden? No, let that fighter regroup. Let him go back to square one. Let him get fix his flaws and stuff and go back in there and give it another run at it. You know, like there's nothing wrong with a loss.
No, a loss is a learn. It's not really a loss; it's just a learning lesson. Especially if you able to apply it, then it's a learning lesson. But if you ain't able to apply it, then it's a loss. It's a lingering loss. That's the difference. But when you grow from that learning lesson, then it's not a loss. You just learn from it. That's how I look at it. But let me ask you a question though. What you think about what Hooker had to say about Ortiz not being ready for Bud? What make you think he said that? I mean, what as far as like his intel, like what you think why you think he said that?
I mean, think about it. He was training with Bomac, man, right there, and did a lot of sparring with Bud Crawford, sort of, real close friends and stuff like that. What else is he supposed to say? I don't put too much into that. Like, okay, he's gonna say that. You
Okay.
know, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not gonna say anything other than that. No matter if it was true or not, that's just what's gonna come out of his mouth, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, man. So what's I heard you, and I'm gonna go ahead. Let's go ahead and talk about this because I know this is like the little thing that a lot of people don't feel that is right. They feel a certain type of way that Bud said that he ain't he put that fight in his rear view or whatever. Go ahead and elaborate on how you feel about that, man. What's up, Stay Ready? What's good with you, fam?
You must have heard me cook on it earlier, did you?
I just got off your joint. I told you.
Ah, Lord,
It's the
listen.
perfect lineup.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Nah, man, listen, man. I didn't like it when he said it, but then again, when Spence was after the Garcia fight, he said he wasn't thinking about Bud either. So they both are saying things they shouldn't be saying. But at the end of the day, I'm not putting a whole lot of weight on it. I know they talk behind the scenes. They get on the phone, they speak. To me, they're laughing. A lot of people won't agree with me or believe me, but they're laughing at this whole media thing because everybody's blowing it out of proportion and it's turning people against each other, like channels against each other, where they're going back and forth and back and forth. And to be honest with you, Nan, one of them sides are right. You know what I'm saying? This fight is going to happen. It's just not going to happen when we want it to happen. Should I say everybody else wants it to happen? My stance on this has always been, and this was before they stripped Manny Pacquiao, okay? This was before. I've been saying this for a while. I said, I don't care to see that fight just yet because my perfect scenario would have been for Bud Crawford or Earl Spence to get the belt off of Pacquiao, which Pacquiao got, champion in recess. So then we're in a position where now I believe Spence is going to get Ugas, right? It ain't nothing final yet, but I believe that's going to be the next fight. So that's going to make it to where when they finally sit down and start negotiating, which I believe they're going to do it behind closed doors. They're not going to be as public as they've been on this other stuff because they're just creating buzz, in my opinion. It'll be for undisputed. And that's the way I wanted to see it. You got the two best at welterweight fighting each other for undisputed. I think it's more meaningful than if they would have fought now and not been for undisputed. But that is my personal preference. That's all.
All right, real quick. Hey, man, let me go give a real quick introduction, man. We got Brian Norman Jr. in the building. Hey, man, what's up, family? Hey, as a matter of fact, for y'all who don't know, this is the guy, the young man who put the hands and feet on Tank and spar. Now, y'all know I'm doing a little but I'm going to let him talk about all that. But this is who this young gentleman is, and I'm going to let you go ahead and tell the chat and let everybody know who you is, my man. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, before he talks, man, Trap House, I know damn well who he is. I know what he did. What's going on, Brian?
What's up? Everything good?
My brother. Yeah, man, everything good, man. Good to have you on, man. Good to have you on, man. I hate that we didn't get a chance to break that interview, but it's all good though, man. I got you on now, so now we locked in. We locked in like twins, goddamn. You know what I mean? So go ahead, spit your piece. And you can, after you get done telling people who you is, you can go ahead and talk about last night, what you seen about last night fights, and we're gonna keep building on from
there. I'm just Brian Norman Jr. I ain't nobody. I just be over here chilling, man. I just do what I do. I beat people up and I go home. That's about it. But last night I say it was a very good fight. I seen Maurice Hooker. I think he actually pushed him a little bit, but I would say Virgil Ortiz, not Virgil Ortiz. His name Virgil Ortiz? Yeah.
Yeah,
Virgil
yeah.
Ortiz, I still see. Yeah, I say Virgil, he still did his thing though. He was still too much. That's what I say. He was still too much.
Yeah. So who you want to see Ortiz fight next?
I don't want to see him fight Terrence Crawford next. I'll tell you that. But who else up there? Who else?
Hold on,
I seen some.
Tell the people why. So if you're a fighter, tell the people why. So
I
they
mean,
can understand.
it's levels to this, and then like I just said, I just seen Maurice Hooker. He was giving him some problems already. You know, good and well, Terrence. I mean, I know they cool over there, but I know Terrence Crawford way better than Maurice Hooker. So that tell it all day long.
And see, my opinion, like as far as like Ortiz with his stance, like to me, like everything up center is too wide open. He very acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
He very susceptible for uppercuts, straight right hands. Like you can get through his guard easy, and when you throw
Yeah,
punches at him, freeze up, and you can easily keep throwing punches combination to keep turning and resetting all night long because he's not gonna punch with you most of the time.
Nah,
He ain't
nah.
going to.
Brian gonna have to help me out a little bit here, man. Come on, Brian. Let him fight that. Let him fight Bud, man. Let me see that fight. Let me see that ass whooping. Come on, man.
I mean, if you want to see him get beat up, I mean, by all means, let him get in that ring.
All right, so check this out, Brian. What you think Ortiz, how he look against Earl?
Believe it or not, I think he will do better. Not, I wouldn't say better. I think it'll be. I think he will last longer. Let me say that. I think he'll last longer with Terrence Crawford. But I think Errol will straight wipe him out. Now, that's not me saying Crawford better than Spence or Spence better than Crawford or anything like that. It's just the way they fight. I think
Styles
Virgil
may fight.
Ortiz. Yeah, I
Hold on,
think Virgil Ortiz plays.
hold on. Let me clear this up. So you say he'll last longer with who again?
He'll last longer with Crawford.
Okay, all right.
Only because he liked the box more. That's it. Only because he liked the box
No,
more and
you meant
everything
Spence,
like that.
right? You meant Spence.
What Crawford? We talking about
That he
lasting
would.
longer?
No. You said he'll last longer with Spence or Crawford.
I say he'll last longer with Crawford.
Okay.
All right.
Only because Crawford like the box more. That's it.
Styles may fight, man.
But
I tell people that.
yeah, but this my thing. I ain't trying to downplay Virgil Ortiz now. I ain't saying he trashed anything like that. I'm just saying his levels to it or whatever. And I think it'll be a very good fight. But eventually, you know, Crawford come out on top. You know, he'll get his timing down and everything like that, and he'll know how to work them.
Got you. So and how do you feel about Ortiz's inside game? Do you feel like he don't take it good to the body? To me personally, I don't think his inside game is really that polished because I watched that Sammy Vargas fight and I thought Sammy Vargas was doing real good within the inside. You know what I mean? And I noticed like, you know, he don't cater to body shots too well. Yeah, did you notice anything about that?
Oh, you saying he can't take him?
Yeah, he seemed like he don't seem like he's too comfortable with it, you know. And this inside game ain't too superb to me, in my opinion.
I ain't really see the Sammy fight, so I can't really say nothing on that. But what I can say with the fight we just seen last night is Maurice Hooker is a tall dude, but when it was like on our on the inside, I would say he was landing a whole bunch of shots. You know, long arms really shouldn't do good in there, but Maurice Hooker was doing good. But at the same time, I would say Virgil Ortiz got some good body shots himself. He know how to dig. He know how to dig to the body,
Yeah.
and
And see my thing
he seemed real explosive.
yeah, and see my thing with Virgil Ortiz is with him at the top level is that what he gonna have some problems there is because he had to set his feet to land shots, and he gonna have some problems when it come down to the top to the upper echelon. Like especially if he got to run up against a guy like a Keith Thurman, he really gonna have to catch a Keith Thurman because he has hell with movement. And see Mo didn't all he had to do was just keep moving. That's it. He ain't have to just run, just keep moving, keep circling it. Keep circling him. And a lot of times he kept circling to Ortiz's right hand. I couldn't understand that. And then he would get on the ropes. He always do this, get on the ropes and get complacent and get the hell beat out.
Yeah.
Come on, Mo. You fucking the game up. I
But
get aggravated watching Mo sometimes, man.
yeah, Crawford said he like to actually fight too much. Like he want to commit too much or whatever. But at the same time, look at your body. Like I just said earlier, you got long arms, you tall as ever, you got a long body to hit. I can hit it all day long. It's a big target to hit, so it don't work to his favor. But if he had the same attitude, he'll shorter, he'll be cool. But it don't work to his favor. But at the same time, what you just said earlier, I do want to see him fight Keith Thurman though. That is a fight I do want to see right now.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't claim Keith Thurman in Florida. We don't claim him over here.
We don't, but we exiled him. But at the same time, he's
What
still
Keith
in the
Thurman
league.
do?
Man, bro.
He did a bad move. We got a bad taste in our mouth with that whole Spence thing, man. We ain't forgave him about that, bro. We ain't forgave him.
Yeah.
Every fighter do that, so y'all got to do that to everybody.
No. See, you don't understand. Me and Trap House live close to Thurman, man. We can't accept that shit, bro.
Yeah,
can't
man.
do it, bro.
You know, I ain't never forgave Keith Thurman for that. Famous. You know that. I ain't never forgave him for it. You know,
every fighter's doing the same thing. Once they get a belt or two, the tone switch up. Everybody's a killer until they get a couple dollars, and then they get a couple belts. And who's not acting like that?
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Who's not?
I'm gonna be honest with you. And look, I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, everybody switching their tune up. It's stuff for Bud. Like he want to fight the main guy. The main guy ain't trying to fight him right now. Ain't that right, Kano?
Nah, bro. You trying to set me up in a trap right here, there, Trap House. Come on now.
Yeah, hold up. He's trying to stick to his plan and clean up his side of the street first. Ain't that right, Kano?
Oh, he's doing that. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, that's a whole different topic, man. I can't speak on people that don't live in Florida. But Trap House, you know we can't have that shit over here, bro.
Now you're in the Trap House. Now it's time to goddamn bang. You know what time it is now.
Come on now, Trap House. Don't do that. You know I was down your way and called you. You didn't even show up, bro. What's up with that, man? Come on, man.
Come on, man. All right, bro. But anyway, let's the ball rolling, man. But okay, like I said, man. Okay, everybody say they change their tune up, whatever, man. So we could change to something else, man. What else did y'all see the Strata fight last night? The ladies?
Yes.
Man, what did y'all think about Nisa Estrada, man?
Nisa Estrada's a beast, man. She could box her ass off. She, she was showing a lot of good movements and setting up shots and all that. Like she was really boxing, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, I know it's a weight class that a lot of people don't watch. You know, look, female boxing suffers as it is because a lot of people don't watch it, but she's at the 105 weight pound division, so it's even harder. I'm glad that they put that card that fight where more people could see it, man, because it was a dope fight. I liked it.
Hey, what Amanda Serrano fight at 130 or something like that? What she fight at?
She fight at 126, and she fights this Thursday on Ring City, USA. I think she's like either the co or the main event, one of the two.
Okay, she way too big for her then. All right,
that's child abuse, bro. Come on now.
Yeah. I seen that fight with. I seen bits and pieces of the fight with Estrada, man. She looked a beast, man. She been a beast. Like I've been covering her for a while. I've been watching for a while, and she don't seem. I mean, hey, look, man. She get better every time I watch her fight. And she went up a weight class and took that girl belt. You know what I mean? Took the champ belt, dropped it. The first, second round? Dropped it.
Yep.
And they dropped it again in the fight. I was like, damn, boy. I say, man, if they make these rounds like 3-minute rounds, or even if they bump up the rounds to 12, two 12-minute rounds, I think we'll see a little bit of difference. But I'd rather see them go up to 3 minutes.
I always said 3-minute rounds, man, you'll see more knockouts in the female boxing, because look, and I worked out of a gym, man, for many, many years, man. And every female that I've ever worked with said 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. We fight the amateurs for 3 minutes. Why can't we fight in the pros for 3 minutes, man? It gives you more time to set up your game plan, man, and start breaking your opponents down. And like yesterday when she knocked down Ortiz, the round was damn near over. She didn't have time to go finish her. So she had time to recuperate, and there we go again. She got her win back. And that's why you don't see as many knockouts, man. I know Brian looking over there, man. Don't hurt me, Brian. I look like you disagree with me, bro.
No, I agree with you all day long. I think it's just the business of boxing or whatever, like y'all said earlier. um don't nobody really watch female boxing, women boxing. So they just trying to hurry up and get it over with. But at the same time, I think they need more respect because they put in work just like we do. They got to get mean before a fight just like we do. They got to do everything like they get punched in the face, we get punched in the face. Everything is equal. So that's my thing on that. And then they just need more credit. Period. Like Clarissa Shields, she I think three weight divisions, I believe.
Yes.
I think she did three weight divisions or whatever. Come on now, you know good and well she need more respect.
Clarissa
Like
Shields.
women boxing, period.
So you
Clarissa
watch
Shields is
women
definitely the
boxing, then,
GOAT.
right?
Yeah, hey, you know I watch it, man, because I know most of them, but
Yeah.
Clarissa Shields definitely deserves respect. I like it when she talks because she's bringing more attention to the sport. You know, her and
Yeah.
Amanda Serrano are actually really close friends. A lot of people don't even know that, but they're real close
Yeah, I
friends, you
know
know.
that.
And Amanda Serrano, you know, won titles in 7 different weight divisions. You don't hear nothing about her either. You know,
Yeah,
those
and
are two
she done
fighters
went to
right there
MMA.
that, damn, you know.
She go to MMA and fight too.
She goes to MMA and fight as well, yeah, but that's because, you know, damn, you know. But like back to what Brian was saying, man, you know, a lot of these females, man, when they can't get, they have a hard time getting sparring partners. And like I can speak for the gyms that I've worked at, man. Most of the time, these females, all their sparring is men. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they sparring what they got, man. So man, I think they do deserve more respect. I just wish they would make it 3-minute rounds. Most of the women that I know want 3-minute rounds.
Hey, real quick, man. Let me salute real quick, and I'm gonna change up the I'm gonna change lanes real quick because I'm gonna talk to my man Brian Norman about something real quick. Hey, salute to heavy lefty in the building, man. And I got CB Sports, man. Salute to you, fam. Much love. Hey, so Brian, man. So what weight class you fight at? Tell people how old you are and like you southpaw, all that. Like, give us a little breakdown about you, man.
Right now, you know, I'm doing catch weight fights for the most part. You know, 145s and everything like that. But eventually I would go down to 140. I can make the weight easy. Like when I go down to 145, there's no problem at all. I made weight. My last fight wasn't no biggie. I think I came in at 44. But yeah, I'm an orthodox fighter, but I'm also a switch hitter. I repeated Marvin Hagler. He was one of my favorite fighters. You know, I wanted to be like him. So that's the main reason why. Let me also say that my top 3 fighters, which you will see inside of me, is Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, and then Marvin Hagler. And if you watch me fight, you know, you can see all of them, see the aggression of Mike Tyson, the speed and the differentness of Roy Jones, and then the war mentality of Marvin Hagler. That's what I built my foundation on right there. Then, you know, I just build around it and do what I can. But yeah, I would go down to 140 and I would try to get every belt possible. Then that's when I'm moving up to 147.
Where are you training
Okay.
at right now?
Yeah, good question. Because I
Gra-
want to know all that too.
it's a gym called Granite City in Ellenwood. Matter of fact, I really just left Ellenwood, Georgia.
Hollywood. When you gonna come down here to Florida, man? When you gonna come down to the School of Hard Knocks gym? Where I go to? I want to see you come out from there and get some work.
Well, just matter of fact, this weekend we're supposed to be down there in Roy Jones gym for some work, but he has some fighters who had some fights this weekend, so we decided not to go. So we
Yeah,
was actually finna go down there.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
that's a good gym to go to, man. My homie Kevin Newman trains over there. Him and what's his name, man? That 150% dude, man. I can't remember his name. Mike Williams Jr. Mike
Yeah,
Williams Jr. and
Michael
Kevin
Williams Jr.
Newman. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, you know who Jason Galarza is, right?
Who?
Jason Galarza,
No, I don't know him.
Lubino, former trainer.
No, I don't know. I don't really know trainers like that. I'm gonna be real with you.
All right, well, check this out, man. Whenever you come down here to Central Florida, man, you just holler at me, man. I want to see you goddamn tap into the gym, man. Goddamn get some
All right,
work or
I got
something.
you.
You
I
know what I
got you.
mean? Yeah. But anyway, so you say you fight out of Ellenwood, Georgia?
Ellenwood.
Yeah,
I know where that's at.
Oh, okay. And you turned pro already, right?
yeah. I'm 20 17 knockouts.
Oh, okay.
Well,
All right.
really, it's some background stuff going on. So I'm I'm 19-0 with 16 knockouts. They got one of my fights as a no contest or whatever, but it was really a first round knockout on that one too to the body. But we just gonna keep it going.
Got you, got you. So who like the next big name like you know that we noticed the next big notable name that you like targeting or that you're getting close to getting or you don't know that yet?
You said that I sparred. One that I can say off the top is Charles Conwell. You know, he 154. Yeah, he
Man.
154. I sparred him. I think
Wow.
that was 2 years ago now. I think. But yeah, I sparred him. Justin Deloge, I sparred him also. Everybody know I
What
sparred Tank.
right
But
there? What was that work with Deloach about right there? I know y'all around the same area in Georgia. He's from Augusta, Auburn, or something like that. Well, what that work was
yeah,
like?
yeah, he like only two. Yeah, he only 2 hours away. That was real good work. If I sparred him a few times before his last fight, I believe. Yeah.
You happen to be with
Well,
Split T Management?
you said what?
You with Split T Management?
No, I'm not with Split. Time with Cameron Duncan.
Oh, okay. You just mentioned a couple of fighters over there,
Cameron
man.
Cameron got Jerron Ennis, Brandon Lee, me. He used to have Terrence Crawford. He had Tim Bradley. He had a whole bunch of fighters. Kelly Paflet. The list goes on.
Man, I like to know, man, because Charles Conwell, that's another good friend of mine. How was that sparring session? Man, a lot of people don't know about him, bro. That boy is nasty.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, it was one of those heated sparring sessions. Cause you know, he from they Ohio, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So you know they talk crazy over there. So they come to our gym with all of that stuff or whatever. And then you know, me and my daddy, we ain't backing down for nothing. I don't care how big you is. So we got in, same thing, just back and forth. We had did 10 rounds. And then they lied, man. I don't know why they tried to lie. Charles Conwell is 1 inch shorter than me. And the dude way bigger than me. They're trying to say he was at 147. I didn't know who he was. I'm gonna be rich. I didn't know who he was till after I sparred him.
Nah, he a big dude. He like a little tank.
Yeah, so I'm looking at him. He not one bit. He not one bit of 147 at all.
Not at all. No, that's a tank, man. He's short, but he's stocky, man. That's a tank. That's like a pit bull right there.
Yeah, but yeah, that was good work though. We did 10 rounds.
Yeah, for those of y'all don't know who Charles Conwell is, man, he's got a very decorated amateur career. He actually dropped Berlanga in their fight in the amateurs, and in that same fight gave him a standing 8 count. Charles Conwell can bang.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. But are you in the rankings? Because I'm gonna get some more people on the panel speak that piece, man. I don't want to just hog up the what's the name, but are you in the rankings yet?
Yeah, at 147, they got me at I think ranked 79.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just ranked 79. I know it ain't high yet, but I'm finna get there real soon. Now, like this year is gonna be like the real big year for me.
Okay. So we should be seeing you on TV like in 2022, right?
Well, I was supposed to fight on TV my last fight, March 10th, but some background stuff happened, so they pulled everything off. They made me the very first fight. The dude, he just didn't like me. That's all it is.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. If anybody else on the chat, man, they can go ahead and speak your piece on what happened last night. Talk about what y'all.
Hey, what's going on with you, bro? Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
What's happening? I came a little late in the chat. I had to go do a couple of things. But where are y'all at now? Were y'all talking about the fight last night with Hooker?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about the fight last night. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think Virgil Ortiz is the real deal, yo.
Yeah.
You know,
How you think Maurice Hooker was for a test
Yeah,
for him though?
my bad.
Do you think that was a good test?
Go ahead, my
I
bad.
think that, yeah, I do
go
think
ahead.
that was an excellent test for him. But the only thing is that Maurice Hooker looked very uncomfortable even before the bell rung. When they looked in each other's eyes, it was
I,
something
I seen
missing.
that too. Yeah, I seen that too. Like he was looking off in the distance.
Yeah, it was like something missing. Like he went to the locker room in his mind.
Hmm. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I
Were y'all
think he was
talking about
actually
after the
doing
fight?
good though for the most part.
It seemed like he hurt his
Maurice
hand a
Hooker.
long time ago because he stopped throwing that right a whole
Yeah,
bunch. I mean, for the last few rounds, he stopped throwing that right hand. As soon as he cracked with his right hand, then that was the wrap. That hand
yeah,
was popped.
yeah.
That
But
hand
I
was
would
popped.
say this though, Bird Ortiz got some nasty body shots. Cause that's what had dropped him. He got some
Yeah,
nasty body shots. He do land them.
he was digging. He was digging with them body shots. He
He
definitely was
was,
digging with
yeah,
them.
he definitely was.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I wouldn't mind seeing Ortiz fight the winner out of like Castillo Clayton or and like Egas, you know, or something like that for like a title eliminator. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a fight. What was that one dude? Kurmatala, what his name? Earl Spence Manator. That one dude, the switch hitter from I can't
Drawing
think of.
Ennis.
No, the foreign dude, man. He was.
Trap House. Nobody know who you talking about. So many people dropped out of the rankings
You're
when
talking
Spence
about
was on that title hunt.
a lot. What is his name? Ala
Yeah,
Kabala or something like that.
that guy. Yeah,
Some
he's
weird name like that.
the
Well, he
IBS man.
signed with PBC though. He left
Oh,
Top Rank and he signed with PBC recently, so he should be getting an Earl's fight soon, at least in the mandatory.
but shit, he was gonna fight Earl regardless, even when he was on top rank. The IBF was gonna make him fight him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't know why he went to PBC. That's bad marketing for him because PBC don't do good with foreign fighters. To be honest with you, I'm
Mm.
just being like they don't do good promoting like foreign fighters like that. What foreign fighter you see on the PBC roster that's actually at the top of the chain?
Manny Pacquiao.
Man, he
Manny,
don't count,
Manny
man.
Pacquiao's not with PBC anymore.
That's a global star, man. He don't count, man.
But Manny Pacquiao's not with PBC anymore. Sean Gibbons released a report about that.
I don't be knowing. I don't be up to hip, but I knew he was
Yeah.
on there though.
Look,
How
man. Yeah,
y'all think Manny Pacquiao do against these other top fighters like maybe at the top two, like we would say Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence? How y'all think he'll do?
I'll start off. I think Pacquiao he got a chance because he got experience in there with fighters. I think Crawford. I think he'll hit Crawford with a solid shot. I think he actually buckled Crawford. To be honest with you, I think Pacquiao still got he still got something left in the tank. I know a lot of people would say he did good against Keith Thurman because there was no drug test and shit. But you know, the way I see it is, if you ain't get caught, then you ain't cheat. But you know, you cut it, slice it, dice it how you want it. But I think he'll do good against Spence too. You know what I'm saying? I think he'll definitely rock Spence with a couple shots too because smaller target. I I'm not sure if Spence is used to just fighting somebody that's southpaw. I know most of his opponents is righties, but you know, smarter, fast. I'm not sure if he could beat him, but I'll say 60, 55, 45 against both fighters, to be honest.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
all right. Well, look. Oh, so y'all got 65 Pacquiao way. Y'all got hip.
No,
Uh,
no,
No, no,
no,
no, no,
no,
no, no.
no.
I got
I
it the
got
other way.
Crawford.
55,
I got
45 is
Crawford
what I'm
beating him.
saying. But for both,
oh, okay.
for Spence and Crawford, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Pacquiao can't win, but I think his chances kind of slimmer just because of age. Now, if you'd have called him 5 years ago, then I definitely would have said, you know what, Pacquiao is going to school these boys, you know, but it's different now.
Listen, this all I got to say about Pacquiao right here. The fact that I think 42, I think he's 42 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he 42 years old and he's still up here with all these other top fighters. I believe you catch Pacquiao like you just said a little while back. I'm gonna say 36. I think he'll beat everybody in that division just because he old right now and he's still in it. So I believe back then he will definitely be killing everybody. I think Prime Pacquiao will kill everybody in the division right now.
I
Fact.
think if it goes to a decision, he'll definitely beat both of them.
Yeah.
because he knows how to steal the rounds. I done
Well,
seen him do it too many times.
well, I'm gonna say this, and I might be a little biased, and I'm gonna admit it, but I can say this. I think that Earl Spence will have hell against Pacquiao, just for the simple fact of how he shell up when punches thrown at him and shit like that, and it's easy to reset against the Earl Spence. Now, what's gonna be the most? What's why I say that? Why I say it'd be easier for Bud, because I always say this: Bud eventually he will punch with you. He's gonna punch with you. He's not gonna sit there and shell up in the high guard and let you just tee off and do all that weird shit and change angles and just he ain't gonna do that, bro. He gonna give you different looks and all that. I think Earl Spence is just a little too basic. I'm not saying that Earl Spence won't win, because I don't even know. That's a tough fight. To me, it's like a 50-50. You know what I mean? And I don't even know if Bud can beat Pacquiao at the end of the day, because if Pacquiao catch him flush a few times, he might be in all types of bad shape. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I would just favor stylistically. I just think that Bud would do better with Pacquiao than Earl would. That's just my opinion.
You basing that
I
off
feel
what
you
we
on
talking
that.
about? Yeah.
What? I'm
Go.
Now,
basing it
so
off.
you basing that, and because I know we spoke a little earlier, well, you basing that off of Crawford punch variation is different, and Spence has don't get it twisted. Spence is straight on, but he does create angles with his punches, but it's not different punches. It's like the same thing thrown over and over. And veterans, when they catch on to that, they got something in store for that. Remember we was talking about
Yeah,
that earlier off camera.
that too.
That's a
That
very good point.
that
That's a
too.
very good point.
And I'm gonna tell you this though, man. Like Pacquiao is a very underrated body puncher too. I wouldn't be surprised if he could hurt any of them to the body.
Yeah.
He's a very
But
underrated body puncher.
I think Spence got a plus right now because the fact that Pacquiao he slowed down a little bit. Of course, he's still all over the place, but he slowed down a little bit. And then if you just constantly punching, Pacquiao, he known for also putting his hands up too, and just taking them sometimes,
Yeah,
But I think that'll be a good plus for Spence. Also, the fact that Pacquiao slowed down, he'll be more in your face, more there.
yeah. Salute the D style, man. Anybody want to come in? The link is in the chat, man. Anybody want to come in? But I think that personally, I think that Keith Thurman fight took a lot out of Pacquiao as well. So that's another thing I really don't know about, because the way
You think he took a
Pacquiao,
lot out of him?
yeah, because Pacquiao was talking about, man, Thurman was strong, and the way he was talking, like he don't want to revisit that shit no more, because they were talking, what about a rematch? He was like, I don't know,
Yo,
Thurman.
Pacquiao didn't even go to the press conference, right? He didn't go to
He
the
was
press
like,
conference
I don't
after.
know, but he was like Thurman is very strong. I don't know. He's strong. I don't. He's like he didn't know if he wanted to revisit that shit again.
He said he hit like
So
Margarito.
hell yeah.
That's the words out of his mouth. That's what Pacquiao said.
Yeah. He ain't want that shit again, bro. I'm just being honest with you. It
Nah,
was a tough fight
I
Pacquiao.
think Pacquiao savage though. He's still gonna be all right. He been doing this for a long time. I think he gonna be
Yeah,
all right.
he picking this savage. He picking this savage journey wisely right now, bro. He gonna go that Mikey Garcia route. You
I
know what
think
I
he
mean?
should though.
Yeah.
That's smart though. He did like. What can you say about Pacquiao? Let's just bring it full service. I'm not trying to compare him and Floyd, but if you look at who took on the dogs at a later age, whether you say he
Salute,
pushed them at
salute
the
the D
right time.
style, man, for the $5 super chat, man. I mean, for the $5 cash out. Appreciate that, famo. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you look at who took the dogs when they were younger, you got to just give it to Pacquiao at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? You got to give it to Pacquiao. Pacquiao took on younger fighters, and whether you say he caught him at this time or that time, he still took the chance because everybody's dangerous. And a lot of people write Keith Thurman off. Then Keith Thurman can't fight, man. Get in there with him. I guarantee you, you be leery once you get hit one of them uppercuts or a left hook that he do. You know
Look,
what I'm saying?
I want to see Ortiz versus Keith Thurman. That'd be a good ass fight.
And
Ortiz
that's the
versus
one I want to
would be
see.
a good fight, man. Because Keith Thurman can punch from them awkward angles, and he ain't got to plant his feet, throw no shots. And it'd be funny. It'd be good to see if Ortiz can catch Keith Thurman and dig to that body and slow him down. And you know what I mean? To change the whole fight up. You know what I mean?
That's a,
I
that's
still appreciate that D style, man. So appreciate that. Much love. Dead game in the building. What's up, man? And after we finna talk about Fury and Joshua next, man. We're gonna talk about that next. What's good, Dead Game? Speak your piece, man.
Man, it's all good, man. I heard y'all guys chopping it up, man. I want to say salute to all of y'all, man. Much respect to all of y'all, man. Good luck to the brother that's coming up in the boxing, man. Look, as far as myself, I'm a huge Terrence Crawford fan, but I'm gonna just keep everything real. I really think Crawford. I agree with you, Trap. I think Manny Pacquiao is a 50-50 fight with Earl, where I think Crawford will knock all these guys out. And I'm gonna tell you, I really think that in the 147 fight, I think the hardest fight for Crawford to me would be you boy from Florida, Keith Thurman. Just because people sleeping on Keith Thurman, but if you watch that Pacquiao fight, even with that knockdown, I still had Keith Thurman winning that fight. To be real with you, I mean, I'm not the best scorer, and I'm not a Keith Thurman fan, but I do like him, and I think Keith Thurman can beat Errol Spence. I think Keith Thurman will beat Errol Spence. Easy work. I think he'll beat him. I think Crawford, that's the only one. Keith Thurman and Crawford. So Keith Thurman need to try and get Ugas. If he was smart, Keith Thurman need to go try and catch Ugas. Give him the A side and take a pay cut and fight Ugas. I mean, that's just a little rant. My bad.
What makes you think Keith Thurman can beat Spence though? Like what do he got?
I think just the cleverness, the power, the movement. Like we say, Earl Spence like to shell up when he getting a flurry. When he getting attack, Earl Spence will shell up, and he getting that high guard and tighten up until you stop punching. And he come with that jab hook to the body, or that jab straight, or that jab whatever. It's that 1-2, and then he get in and he'll hit you to the body and get out. Yeah. I think
You think Keith Thurman throw
with,
enough to beat him, though? You think Keith Thurman throw enough punches to beat Earl Spence? That's the only
Oh,
problem.
yeah. Hell yeah. Definitely Keith Thurman throw enough.
That's why I kind of scratched my head at with that one. But
yeah, he don't throw enough punches. I don't think he throw. I'm not saying that he can't, because it's possible. He could possibly rock him, but I don't think he just throws enough punches. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he throws enough. Well, he could shock somebody and drop him or hurt him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Keith Thurman is out of it the way people say it. It's just that the way he acted sways the way people look at Keith Thurman's skills, like what happened with Jose Cito Lopez. If you look at Keith Thurman and any fight that he was in, if he held, the fights would have been totally different. Keith Thurman doesn't hold, so he's going to be an exciting fight. You know what I'm saying? Some people will hold, and they won't be able to get in trouble for that long. But Keith Thurman, he really don't even hold in fights, so his fights be super exciting. So that's my take.
I feel like it'll be a real good fight, but at the same time, like I was just saying, dude, Keith Thurman throw enough punches. I think Errol Spence, for the most part, if you go to the cards, I think he'll outwork Keith Thurman. But then at the same time, Keith Thurman, only pretty much main weakness is body shots. Good and well, Errol Spence is money with the body shots. So I feel like Errol Spence is perfect, is a perfect opponent to beat Keith Thurman, just because he gonna outwork him. And if you do want to fight, he got a body shot waiting for him.
And I'm gonna say this. That shit with Keith Thurman pulled where he tried to steal 6 rounds in the early half of the fight, that ain't gonna work, bro. Like, he gonna have to push the pedal to the metal way more than that. Like, he gonna have to give him more gust and glory than that. And that ain't gonna work where you think he gonna run on the second half of the fight. Because Earl gonna get it ain't gonna work, because Earl gonna get strong and just beat the hell out of him. And he better hope he don't get knocked out.
He gonna have to pull a Diego Chavez performance. Like, when he was throwing punches like that, that's what he gonna have to do against Earl. I'm not saying that, but the output, his output is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna make a quick excuse though. I'm gonna make a real quick excuse, because he been out when he fought Jose Cito. Was that Jose Cito? When he fought Jose, he was out of the ring for forever. And then how much you gonna get up to come back and fight Jose Cito? I don't think he even came up all the way. But I'm gonna tell you, after he got knocked down with Pacquiao, he was throwing hands, bro. I mean, I don't know.
He was. That's a fact.
So he came out of a long layoff with some, getting married, got the new wife, all the bull crap. Now he didn't cut the ponytail off. He ready. I'm telling you, Keith Thurman ready.
I hope so. He need to get, because we exiled him out of here in Florida, so he might he might get forgiven. I don't know. You know what I mean? It just depends on what type of heart we see him. You know, what type of heart he got when he come back. You know what I mean? But and who he fighting. But I think Keith Thurman is at a point, man. To be honest with you, where he only got 2 more fights, and he's probably gonna be done. I don't think Keith Thurman want to be around that much more longer, man. Just my opinion. I like to see him.
How y'all think that? How y'all think the Sean Porter versus Terrence Crawford fight will go?
Knockout.
Bud gonna stop Sean, man. Come on, bro. Y'all know
Really?
that.
I don't know about that. I gotta see it to believe
That
it.
ain't
Stop him,
nothing
bro.
but Crawford versus
Stop him, bro.
Felix Diaz, number 2.
Hell
I'm
no.
trying to
Sean,
tell you.
Hell
Yeah,
no.
Sean ain't no punk now.
Hell no.
yeah, but he gonna get him out
Sean
of
ain't
there,
no
bro.
Felix Diaz. You crazy?
Okay.
You
Yeah, that's
crazy?
all that is.
You
Bud, stop
I'm
crazy?
him,
talking about
bro.
that's how he
Felix
gonna
Diaz.
do him.
Hold on. Felix Diaz is not even strong. Are you crazy?
He ain't strong.
Compared to Sean Porter, you crazy? Come on,
Yeah,
bro.
Felix Diaz is a bull, bro. You tripping, fam.
Bro,
For
Yeah,
compared
hey,
to
real.
he
Sean
ain't as
You
Porter,
must
strong as
not know
Sean Porter
he's
Felix
now.
not a
Diaz.
bully, bro.
But
Come on.
we ain't saying he's strong, South Porter, but he's strong though. Let's not get it twisted. Like he done manhandled niggas in that ring. Let's not get that twisted.
And Crawford is strong. So strong is way stronger than Felix Diaz.
Listen, brother. I'm gonna tell you like this. A lot of people think that Sean gonna sit up there and just jump all over Crawford like how he did Earl. I don't believe that, bro. I just don't believe that. How he had Earl
It's
looking off
gonna
the
be
TV
rough moments,
and
bro. He's
shit.
not gonna keep Sean
See
Porter
that, bro.
outside all day.
I'm not
You
saying
think
it's
so?
gonna be super easy. I'm not saying
Okay,
that.
okay,
But what I'm
okay,
saying
okay,
is
okay.
this. What I'm saying is this, when he think he gonna do all that old shit, we hopping in, Bud swinging, my nigga. He pivoting, moving back, and he's swinging. You running into some shit. You ain't just running in for the free. That's what I'm trying
I
to
hear
get you
you.
niggas to understand.
Nah, I
Yeah,
hear you. I hear
it's
you. I hear
nothing
you.
for free over there. You gonna get hit with some shit. Believe that.
But that's just how Sean Porter fight, though. I feel like he know his style for the most part, and you know how to work his way around it. And as you see, pretty much every fight he get in, he gonna make it rough. He gonna make it. You gonna have to fight no matter what. And to me, I ain't gonna lie, the only fight he didn't do that in was the Ugas fight, and he lost that fight. I know they gave
Facts.
Porter the win on that, and I was going for Porter to win, but he lost that fight. And that's the only
Yep.
fight he didn't do all that. He didn't make it dirty. He didn't make it rough.
He
So I
did
feel like
try that
if you
with
come in,
Julio. He tried that with Julio Diaz too, and they gave him a draw, but Julio Diaz beat him that day.
And
What's up?
that's why
yeah,
that's why I always said Ugas and Earl is not a wash for Earl to win that fight. I'm not gonna say Ugas gonna beat him, but I'm gonna say this: I'm Earl and Ugas is a good fight. I'm
It's
gonna just
not.
be real.
I don't think so. Ugas got one
I,
gear
I
and
think
that's it. Ugas got one gear. He cannot turn up on nobody. That's just me.
yeah,
He
he
got
can't.
one gear.
He can't. I got
Look.
Spence on that one easy.
Hold up, let me get a shout out to my big homie Blood Boxing, the Richard Pryor of the YouTube boxing community. Shout out to Blood, man. Salute to Blood. If you ain't subscribed to Blood, go subscribe to Blood Boxing, man. But yeah, I feel you. My thing with Sean Porter raised his level up. He only fights to a level of his competition. That's the reason why he looks so sorry against like Ugas and all those guys. He don't look good against those type of guys. Now you get him in up with the top guys, he up for that. Like Keith Thurman, he gonna be up for it. They gonna come ready, and they gonna give you the fight of your life. You understand what I'm saying? But that's my only thing with Sean Porter. That's the only reason why he don't look good in all fights. It just depends on who the hell he fighting. Now
So do you think he gonna ride up to the Cajun when he fight Terrence Crawford?
it'll be a tough fight, but I don't think that it's gonna be as tough as that Earl fight. I think Bud gonna stop him.
I can't see it stoppage. I'm gonna be real with you. I can see Bud winning
And
all day long, but I don't see it stoppage.
I'm telling you, cause I'm telling you, he get hit from them little weird angles and shit coming in. And I'm telling you, once the Mirage punches, once Bud smell him hurt any type of little way, he is not gonna ease up, bro. I'm trying to tell you this. But and at the end of the day, it ain't like Bud gonna be sitting there fighting the one. He gonna be switching. So we gonna see. I want to see the fight. That's what I want. I want to see the fight so I can
Yeah, I
prove
definitely
everybody.
want to see it.
I'm taking bets too. Just know that I'm taking bets.
Quick question. So
Man,
what
I
do
ain't
Sean
messing with
Porter
you,
career?
man.
What about Sean Porter?
Quick, So where do his career go now? All right, so say if he lose the Crawford fight, right? What do you think his career go like? What do you think is next for Sean Porter? Like as
Well,
you see, we don't really see him. Like if you think about it, you don't really think about him as a champion no more. Like, you don't see him as a being able to make a champion. Like he right there with it, but he can't get over that last step.
well,
So
I'm gonna
what
tell
do you
you
think his
real
career
quick.
really
It's
is?
called what his career was before he even got that vacant. Let me break something down. See, the whole setup for Sean Porter when he got that vacant WBC belt. You know when he had when Keith Thurman vacated, Sean Porter pretty much been PBC past the pussy ever since then. They ain't got no use for Sean Porter. They just using him around just to for whatever, bro. Just to
Yeah,
keep money flowing. That's it, bro. He just there.
yeah.
You know, he ain't gonna
This,
never be that guy. And I'm being honest with
yeah,
you. Trying to be, nasty. I'm just being honest with you. That's all they got for him, and that's it. I mean, think
yeah.
about it.
This,
Okay, but think about this.
this,
Even if Sean Porter was a 2-time champion, right? I mean, if he had 2 belts, like what use do they really got for him as far as like if we're gonna talk business? Like what use do they really got for him at PBC? They're gonna try to get rid of him to somebody else who's selling tickets.
yeah. But this what I see Sean Porter as. He a gatekeeper, but not a regular gatekeeper like for the prospect trying to get in the game. I think he a gatekeeper for the belts. So like
Yeah,
if you want to get a belt, you gotta fight through him. After that, now you're qualified to, fight the champion type thing. That's what I think he is. He a gatekeeper for the
title.
belts.
He a good title
That's an
eliminator
excellent one.
opponent.
Yeah, cause he real tough. He gonna make you fight, like I said. He rough, he all that.
Yeah.
You're
He gonna
right.
make sure you ready. He gonna make sure you ready for them belts, pretty much.
You're right.
Anybody else got something they want to cook on? Before we get on this Wilder, I'm not Wilder, damn. Fury and Joshua. I keep
Hey
saying
Trap,
Wilder.
hey Trap, I'm not gonna bet you with that Sean Porter and Crawford thing. I already know what time it is with Bay U, man.
Yeah, I know you don't want no
remember
smoke. Yeah,
remember that Hooker and Ortiz you was trying to get me to bet with you on that?
yeah.
You
I told
predicted
you it
it
was I told
exactly.
you. Told you it was gonna be over with. Told you. I
You
just
said
knew it, but
seventh round.
I just know Hooker ain't gonna stay disciplined enough, man. I know he ain't. That's why I said I'd rather just see him and Robert Easter fight. They two of the same caliber. It's perfect. Perfect.
That's still
You
a
know what I
good
mean?
fight. That's still a good
Yeah.
fight.
Still a good fight. So all right, let's change over to Fury and Joshua. So what's y'all thoughts about that? And let me ask you this: is everybody into this whole thing about saying that it ain't a big fight or it's not important or whatever this whole little thing's supposed to be? So I
I
mean,
think this is.
No, that's
Hell
a
yeah,
big
it's a
I
big
fight.
fight.
think.
That's a huge
Yeah, this
fight.
definitely a big fight.
That's a
Yeah,
mega fight.
cause see, the reason why I'm saying that because people saying that cause they ain't from America and all this other crap that they don't really care. They ain't supporting it like that. I don't feel that way. I just want
They
y'all.
salty about Wilder, bro. That's all it is. He out the picture, bro. Hopefully. Let's just see this shit go down, bro. To be honest.
what
Let's see it go down. Let's see an undisputed heavyweight champion. Forget all the this happened, that happened. Like I'm not gonna be sitting up here and just caping and 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 caping. Like I'm not defending somebody who's just need to get in there and fight, bro. You just need to get it. Like you know what I'm saying. You've been out. You talking about age. You talking about all that. He's 35, so he needs to be in there active. That's what the game of boxing. You can't sit out, cry, and wait, stop fights, block fights. If Fury's gonna be your last fight, okay. But if it's not, get in there and show and prove. So it is a big fight.
Now I'm gonna say this. I do agree that him and Wilder and Fury do got some unfinished business. They do need that one fight. I do feel that way, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna sit up here and say that this fight ain't important. I ain't gonna support it. It ain't no big fight. No, this is a big fight. This is undisputed. Hey, it is what it is. And if they was to have it over here, I damn sure would be over here watching it if they was having it in the United States. Because I think it's worthy for that.
Well, let me I might be the only one on here that got a difference of opinion. I don't think that fight gonna happen. Definitely not next. Um, I'm Bomb Squad, they got a contract. I think the fight, a couple of reasons why the fight's not going to happen. You got too much funky stuff going down in the UK with this mafia stuff. They got a contract that he's not withholding. There's too many shady people in the game right now wanting to make this huge mega fight. And I agree, it is a mega fight, and I would watch it. But there's unfinished business. There's a reason why there's the allegate, not what you call it, with the whatever Deontay Wilder
Arbitration.
have arbitration. There's a reason that's going on. It's not going on for no reason. There's a reason why the Alexander Usyk and the Joe Joyce fight not scheduled. There's all a reason. So we just gotta keep a close eye and just pay attention. I don't think the fight gonna happen. He got unfinished business with the American champion. If he beat Deontay Wilder, then that'll be a legitimate fight. I don't think it's legitimate, to be real.
Can I hold on before you go? Do you truly believe, just because you bomb squad, do you truly believe Deontay Wilder could beat Tyson Fury?
Yes, I can. I believe he. I believe he can. I believe he can knock him out, and I can believe he can beat him on points. I mean, you look at the. I'm serious. You look at the first fights. I gave Deontay Wilder a win in that first fight, bro. No, bro. Deontay Wilder was boxing beautifully, bro. That first fight, in that second fight, and in that second, man, Deontay Wilder was throwing that jab. He was nice. He looking good, bro. In that second fight,
you really believe so?
I really do believe so. He was throwing that jab. He was looking good. He knocked him down.
All feelings aside. I'm just asking because I was. It was a time in boxing where I was just like so pro this and pro that until I really took a step back and seen like, bro, he lost that first fight. I made a video. To me, he lost that first fight. Second fight, whatever y'all want to say, he got cheated, whatever. But skill wise, he's not better than Fury. So I don't think he could beat him. He got to show me something different. That's why I asked. But
hey, real quick, I gotta go.
Okay, I appreciate you coming on, fam. Hey, I sure
appreciate you too, bro.
Hey, man.
I really appreciate
we're gonna link up, bro. We're gonna link up. You more than welcome to come time, fam, man. Stay up.
All right, just let me know. I got you.
All right, bro.
All right.
Yeah, so I see y'all got two different opinions on the whole little Fury and the Wilder one fight, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Wilder won that fight, bro. I think man, I don't want to get no deep conspiracy theorist bullshit, bro. Man, they tried to take the champ. They took that belt by any means necessary, bro. The only thing I regret he even fought Tyson Fury, brought him out of the slums and fought him, bro. He should have let Tyson Fury work his way up. But it is what it is. They have a contract. I want to see the third fight. If he win or lose, it is what it is. I think he's gonna beat him, but let's get it done and then go for that big fight in the UK, which is not gonna happen next anyway. So they stop ducking Deontay.
So let me ask you a question. So you don't want to see the Fury and the AJ fight?
I do. I would love to watch the fight. If it happens, I'm a want to watch it if it's gonna happen. But I don't think it's gonna happen, and I would prefer to see Fury Wilder before I would see that fight right now. And then I would like to see AJ and Wilder at Dallas Stadium.
So Harlem Brothers Mark, what you got on that?
I heard some news that they were considering bringing that fight, Fury and Joshua, to Texas. Yeah, that's what I heard.
They did, but they was talking about the UK fans is not gonna be able to come because of the quarantine shit.
There's no quarantine in Texas.
Not in Texas, but for the UK fans to fly over, I'm talking about. You can't fly over just yet.
Like they still got a travel ban?
I think that's what I heard, because I heard what you talking about in the same conversation. I heard him talking about that, so I could be wrong.
I don't know.
It don't make sense if the UK fans can't come.
They got a lot of UK people here in America, though.
They do, but Eddie was also talking about a big time Asian donor, so I don't know. I don't think the fight gonna happen. It's clout chasing, bro. It's really clout chasing. It's getting us to talk about the fight. Um, I think it's more clout chasing because Eddie wasn't even supposed to break the news. Because
But
they
how
was
many times they signed the fight though? Because last year they signed the fight for a 2-fight deal, and this year they talking about they signed the fight for a 2-fight deal. So what happened to the last 2-fight deal?
it
Y'all
could
don't
be.
remember 2020 when they was talking that?
It could be, but you know what kind of legal implications they can get if they do sign, if Wilder do win. Maybe they don't want to. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. But it's posturing. You know, it'll be a good fight, but I don't think it's gonna happen, bro. It's too much shady stuff going on.
And how would they pay $200 million for just one fight? Who has that kind of money? Do they really think that they're gonna make it like that? $200 million. That's $100 million a piece they're asking for. So I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out like you. Are they posturing? Because it seems like they just recycling the same news that they had 2020, and nothing happened. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
2020, they said that the fight was signed for 2-fight deal for 2021. And the first fight's supposed to happen somewhere, I think, in February. And we're in March. Nothing happened. So you might be right.
Mm. Well, we got Stormy B, man, here in the building, man. Hey, salute to the sensei, man. Go ahead and speak your piece on whatever you want to talk about, brother.
Well, good afternoon, brothers. How you all doing, man? Salute to everybody on the panel, man. What's going on with you? Thanks for bringing me on.
Salute, brother.
You more than welcome, man.
Hey, man, regarding this Fury and Joshua thing, if it was so important, why didn't Joshua go out there and try to get Fury before Wilder did? You know, I mean, remember, they talked behind the scenes. So Wilder had put out a tremendous offer to AJ and everything, and he took everything that they discussed in their personal conversation and ran it by Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn in Matchroom killed it, which it would have been a beneficial record-setting deal for Joshua for himself, setting up family wealth for himself. He went and told Massa what the other man was trying to do, and it got killed. So now all of a sudden we're supposed to believe that this is the biggest fight that could be made in Great Britain history and the current history of heavyweight boxing. That's bullcrap. As long as you got people like Ed Hearn and Matchroom standing in the way of making really good quality fights, you're never going to see the best of what boxing has to offer. That's where you got to keep your eyes peeled. And when you got someone that is so looking to be led like a AJ, I wouldn't be hanging my hat on anything with him. He has gotten no better since he knocked out Charles Martin. He's gotten no better. And for anyone that want to beg to differ, just because he defeated Ruiz in their rematch, a fight that people felt like he should have won the first time around. But the thing about it is, all he did was play keep away against a man who was woefully out of shape and couldn't catch up to him. So what are we giving him credit for? Why is he such a gem now for a fighter like Fury? And we know Fury's checkered past. So how is this one of the best fights that can be made? I'm trying to understand that. Please, because I have pen and paper right next to me, plus clippings and recordings right next to me. So someone make sense of this for me.
Well, my whole thing is the reason why it's important to me because it's undisputed. That's the only reason why I say it's important. I don't have other than that. I don't really care. That's the only reason. That's my whole point. That's why it's important to me. I can't speak for nobody else. All the belts on the line, one champion. That's what I want to see.
Didn't you want to see it when it was both AJ and Wilder?
Yeah. Yeah. But it didn't
you
happen that
understand
way.
what I'm getting at here now. Why is it so important now?
It was important then to me too.
No, but I'm saying, why is it so important now for the boxing public? Think about this before you answer. Why is it so important now? And for people out there that's in the chat, like Taco K, think somebody's capping for Wilder. I'm not even talking about Wilder. I'm talking about the fight that they're trying to sell you on presently. I gave a little bit of background, but
I get what you're
I don't
saying.
cape for nobody.
I get what you're saying, Stormy. You know, I mean, I said, well, you know how I feel. I don't know how anybody else can say what they want to say on the chat, on the panel.
Well, I'm gonna say what I think, and what I think usually, is shaky sometimes. But I think it was almost like they tried to have a UK takeover. They flooded the heavyweight division with heavyweights, and they tried to they making their mark. As you can see, they have accomplished of having all the belts held by UK fighters at right now. They gave Charles Martin the bag. Whatever else, he got the fight with Klitschko, and I think they added belts to that. So Eddie Hearn, we could say what we want about Eddie Hearn, but that motherfucker is a bad motherfucker, dog. I'm gonna just be real. He played the system, and he accomplished something that he set out to accomplish, and there was a UK takeover of the heavyweight division.
Yeah, I mean, I see the angle. I know exactly what y'all talking about, but I mean, like I said, I just want to see who collect all the belts. But anybody else got something to say on that? Cause I'm gonna talk about Artur Beterbiev real quick. I guess not. Well, so what y'all thought about Artur Beterbiev last night, and do y'all think he can beat Saul Canelo Alvarez? That's the question for everybody, for me.
If Canelo gets him at a catch weight, I think Canelo can beat him, man, because he's right there to be hit. His defense is horrible, man. If Canelo can somehow get into some movement and slip some of those punches, he'll be right. If he could take that punch, that's the major thing. Can he take his punch? It's Beterbiev that's got some power, man.
Beterbiev is a grinder. Canelo, if Beterbiev, the only way Canelo go up there is if they got a unification fight, a undisputed fight probably. So Canelo beat old boy from the UK, Billy Joe, and he beat Plant. If he catch old boy Beterbiev in about 2023, he gonna wash him. 2023, he gonna catch Beterbiev and wash him. He gonna age him out. They all been aging him out, to be real.
Well, let me salute to L Dub Boxing in the building, man. Let me see who else in here real quick before we finish. Wayne Fitness, man. Salute to you. Taco K in the building. Who else I got off in here? I see D Style left. All right, salute to you, D Style. I'll get back with you, bro. But Stormy, you want to go ahead before I go, or you want me to go first?
About Beterbiev?
Yeah.
I can go. I like Beterbiev. I think he's
Go ahead.
I think he's good for the sport. The only thing is his age is going to catch up with him sooner or later, but that also may be contingent upon how he lives outside the ring, because fighters who take care of themselves, don't allow themselves to get much out of shape and everything, can usually extend their careers if they're living right. But the other fortune he has going for him is he stops people. He doesn't take a lot of punishment, even though I heard someone say something about his defense, but he doesn't take a lot of punches. He punishment rather, and he meticulously breaks people down with oncoming pressure, and he has hams for fists. You know, he's like a Ernie Shavers in there. He has a good chin. He's very confident, and given being a champion, you have 12 rounds to work with, and that is a long time to go with a man who continuously brings it, and he's hitting you to the body, he's hitting you to the head, he's hitting you on your arms. Last night's fight with Diaz was fighting very well actually, but it got to him, and it was just a matter of time. He showed a durable chin early, but once he started getting fatigued mentally, the fight was pretty much over at that point. You could see him breathing heavily in between rounds. You could see the exasperation. And Beterbiev was just sitting there calmly. You know, they were trying to deal with that little bit of abrasion cut he had on his forehead from a head clash. And I like the guy. That's why he's in my Thunderous top 10, because he's one of the fighters, one of the 10 fighters that I've put on my list that are impactful in the sport of boxing. My Thunderous top 10 is not about pound for pound, but it's about fighters who are impactful in the sport of boxing presently, how they make you take note, how they make an impression upon people when they view their fights, or the last or most recent fight that they had, how it was moving things forward in the sport of boxing. That's what that top 10 list is all about. He had been on my list, but he had been dropping because of his inactivity, the injuries, and the delays and whatnot. But once again, last night with his performance, he showed exactly why I had chosen him to be on that list. I like Artur Beterbiev, and I just hope that he can be a little bit more active now that he's got that first fight of the year under his belt. He was supposed to fight this guy, I think, back in October when ESPN had launched all of those fights, coming back for the sport in the bubble and whatnot, and he was supposed to fight at that time, and he suffered an injury in training. So it's good to see him back. I like what he does in there. And as far as if he faced Canelo Alvarez, I just believe he's too big and strong of a man, both physically and on the inside, for Canelo. He's not going to lay down for Canelo. He's not going to go into a shell because Canelo can hit him with sharp counters or whatever. But Canelo's got to prove that he can go a solid 12 rounds with a man like that is pretty much an immovable object. And he's going to be also getting hit by this man, which is why he immediately left that division, I believe. He didn't want to stay in there against someone like that unless he's absolutely forced to fight a fight like that. And right now, he's not in a position to be forced to take a fight like that. But let's just see Beterbiev and Bivol then. That's what I think is a good fight.
Got you. Well, my thing on Beterbiev, I think Beterbiev. Oh, I'm just gonna talk about the fight first. Beterbiev and that I can't pronounce it. Diaz or Diaz, whatever his name was. I thought it was a pretty good fight, man. I thought that old boy was piecing up Beterbiev at times, you know, but I thought Beterbiev was just too strong. Beterbiev is just too. He's just a brute, strong type of guy. Like no matter how he touch you, it's just gonna hurt. You know what I mean? And that's what makes him so difficult to deal with. You know what I mean? And I thought, you know, it just eventually got to old boy. Old boy had a good chin because he was getting caught with some flush shots from Beterbiev, man. And Beterbiev normally get these dudes up out of there when they get caught with too many of those shots. And he stuck around and you know, he did pretty good, you know, when he was around, but Beterbiev was just too strong for the dude, man. I thought that Beterbiev was getting hit a lot, to me, in my opinion, in that fight. He was getting caught. But old boy didn't have enough power to even, you couldn't tell on Beterbiev's face or anything like that. He just had enough power just to, you know, just to freeze him a little bit and change the angle. But as far as like Canelo and Beterbiev, I don't think that Beterbiev can beat Canelo, in my opinion. I think that skill for skill wise, even if they was a fight at 175, I think that Canelo defense is just a little bit too much. I think Beterbiev's a little too slow for Canelo. I think that Canelo can catch him in between shots, and his ability to roll shots and parry, in times. I think, and he's able to use the ring enough to get a decision against a Beterbiev. I don't, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing about Beterbiev, but I done seen Beterbiev, drop before a few fights ago. But he did get up and stop the dude, knocked him out, no doubt. But I just think from what I seen last night, I don't think so. I don't think he can beat Canelo. I think Canelo can take his power enough to get a decision. I don't think he can stop Beterbiev or nothing like that, but I think he will. I think he could beat him. That's just my opinion.
I agree. It's possible.
Yeah, I
Very
agree.
possible.
Yeah.
Very possible.
But so let me say this though. Let me address this real quick, man. Before we anybody. So did anybody see the Lopez versus the Lopez? What's that dude? The Doberman versus Nino. Did anybody see those fight? That fight?
Yeah, you talking about the dude from Argentina, the big thick muscle dude?
Yeah, man.
140?
Ortiz sparring partner. Ortiz said he ain't never been hit hard and sparring by nobody but that guy. So you seen that fight, right?
Hey, and actually I do like the dude. I never knew him before, but I'ma just be real. I never knew him, but I like him.
Yeah. That was a good fight, man. I think that if old boy had just a little bit more pop on those punches, we might would have seen a different fight. Because I wanted to see how that dude, because he had a lot of output and he was getting hit with some shots too, and he was throwing some thunder shots and he was missing. I wanted to see, how he would change over, how his conditioning really was, because he was taking some shots, like I said, and he was missing and he was landing some. So I just wanted to see a guy with that type of physique, how his condition was gonna translate over in the later round. Salute to my man, Big Faces Worldwide in the building, man. Shout out to you, homie. But anybody else want to cook on the Lopez fight?
That guy looked real strong, yo. I'd never seen him before, but I was impressed.
I mean, that was probably like the fight of the night. Damn, I don't know. I mean, the Hooker and the Western Name fight was a good fight, but that Lopez that was a real exciting fight, man. Real action-packed fight, man.
It's always a pleasure to see fighters like the opponent, like Doberman was last night, come in and give a wholehearted effort when he could have easily submitted when things got rough for him, and that was quite early. I think he got dropped in the second round or something like that, and he was hurt. You could see it, but you also saw him talk to himself, and he got up. And I used to hear Emmanuel Stewart tell this to his fighters in the corner. You got to talk to yourself. You got to try to summon what's needed to do what you have to do. And this man did it right before our eyes. He got up and he started fighting back, and he started landing, which gave him more confidence. And it was one of the reasons why he eventually got stopped, because he took chances. He took chances that championship fighters and contenders don't take. And you be crying for them to do it when you're watching their fights. You be like, AB, let your hands go, bro. Let your hands go, right? Here's a man who was brought in as an opponent in a showcase fight that fought like he had nothing else to live for. And he gave a wholehearted effort. And that's why people really enjoyed it, because you can always vibe with someone who's given that type of effort. You can always connect to that, because the underdog, the person who's trying to break through, trying to persevere, trying to prevail, come out on top. People love that. That's why Rocky is so damn popular. You understand? So when this man came out and fought back like he did, and he got dropped a couple of times, But you saw after that first time, he just made a decision like, damn this, I'm gonna fight back. And it made for quite an entertaining fight. I'm sure he may get another call, which means another payday, and great for him. But for anyone that loves the sport of boxing, this is why you look at the sport of boxing. It's people like that really help make the sport better. Because this, you see these guys, and you guys talked about it earlier before I came on. When guys make a little money, they kind of decide to go in a different direction. They want to be a little more safekeeping and things like that. But look at how this young man performed last night. And as Trap House said, if he had a little bit more pop on his punches, he could have possibly made this the type of fight where the tide could turn in his favor quite heavily. So it was very entertaining, and hats off to Doberman last night. He put on a hell of a show, man. Keep his chin up, because he gave us great entertainment last night.
He sure did, man. He made me proud too, because like you said, he could have checked out a long time ago, and he decided that he was like, man, I ain't laying down. I'm just gonna be killed. He got to take me out tonight, and he made his mind up, man. And because at first I thought, I was like, he got rocked like in the first round, drop. I said, oh boy, don't tell me it's gonna be over what I read it. But he was like, fuck that shit. He got his shit together and went to let them hands go. I was like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. But let me make a real quick announcement. L Dub, he says, don't miss Amanda Serrano versus Daniela Bermudez, Thursday, March 25th. Both ladies are top 10 pound for pound. Gonna be fire, no doubt. We ain't gonna miss that, brother. March 25th, which is probably Wednesday, I think, something like that. I think it's Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. No doubt, we'll catch it out. What network is gonna be on? Probably the Zone or something like that. But let me ask y'all real quick question, man. About what y'all think about Beterbiev versus Joe Smith Jr.
That's a good fight.
Yeah, that's the fight.
Of course, I'm going to support Joe Smith.
Facts. I think I don't think he gonna be able to grind. I think Joe Smith is a beast of a man to grind down, bro. I think it's gonna be a good fight. Joe Smith is a big strong dude himself, and to grind him down, bro, I don't know. So, and Joe Smith is learning, he getting better as each fight he get better, so that he on the upward trend. So I'm pulling for Joe Smith, even though the odds gonna be for Beterbiev, but I'm not scared to say I'm pulling for Joe Smith in that fight.
Yeah, I definitely be rooting for the American. I like Joe Smith. He's scrappy. I like his style. The only time Joe Smith let me down is in that Beterbiev fight when he got his jaw broken. He laid down. I get it, but hey, he still stuck. He still went through the fight though. I believe. Well, I don't know if he got stopped or he went through, but he soldiered it out. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That'd be a good fight, man. That'd be a good fight. And the only thing I don't like about Joe in that fight is that if Joe is more of a hooker, Beterbiev would stick to his jab more, and Beterbiev shoot more straight shots than Joe. Joe is a big time hooker, man. He live and die by the hooks, man. So I think that might can cost him depending on who get who first, but Joe got a chin though. I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough fight. That's a damn tough fight. I don't know. Go ahead, Stormy. What you got on that?
That's a very good fight. It reminds me of the fight that Beterbiev had with Gavaskit. Although Joe doesn't have Gavaskit's background, but what he does have is he has greater fortitude, which sometimes can lead a fighter down the wrong path at the wrong time. Against a fighter like Beterbiev, you have to have enough skill and ring IQ to be smarter than him, to defeat him in a manner which is going to require a technical / physical manner. And we've seen Joe Smith be very brave and tough, a lot like Doberman, right? We've seen him have that Doberman in him. But against a guy like Beterbiev, that's kind of suicidal. You have to do some other things against Beterbiev. You have to be able to box. You have to be able to give angles. You have to be strong enough to tie him up, get away from him, and do a lot of things all at one time. Some of the stuff that you guys were kind of talking about with Hooker against Ortiz, you have to be able to be multifaceted, and that doesn't mean that Joe can't, but we need to see it from him. He's always risen to the test that he's had in the ring, which is a good thing, which means he's progressively getting better, and with each success, he can add that to his toolbox. So against a guy like Beterbiev, he's going to have to bring all of that. Because as much as Beterbiev is a maybe like a two-dimensional fighter, those two dimensions are very strong. And it would be a great fight. If Joe could take the power, then he will have to be able to take the pressure. If he could take the pressure, then he'll have to have the endurance for 12 rounds, because it's not going to be a situation where that's going to stop. But in between all of that, he's got to get enough of what he does good or well in on Beterbiev to take something out of Beterbiev as the fight goes on. That's kind of maybe a 55-45 fight in favor of Beterbiev. But that doesn't mean that Smith can't win it at all, because he's shown us a great deal. And you have to say that, Beterbiev is getting older. So a lot of variables there. My brother Kirk Sugar liked to talk about the intangibles. And I think that's definitely the type of fight where the intangibles will come to the forefront, or at least become prominent within the fight. But I would love to see that fight.
Heard. And I think I'm gonna talk about one thing, man, and this is gonna be the closing out. I just want to know one thing, man, because see, I want to know why every time Bud say something, he gets so much scrutiny, but every time Earl say something, it's overlooked. I'm trying to understand what like, he can say anything, it's the hoorah. But when Earl say something, everybody just go with it, and it's nothing. They just overlook it. Like, and this is the reason why the community is so in a bad divide right now. Anybody got something to say about that?
I could break it down, but somebody can go before me. It don't matter.
I'll say something on it, and then anybody else could chime in. This is beyond boxing. This is a community and social issue within the Black community. I'm going to be honest. Bud is a dark man. He's dark. And self-hate is prominent in our community. As much as people try to be in denial about it, it resurfaces at every waking turn. I heard a young man in the community say, if there were no Earl Spence, that all of that love that he gets would be Bud's. And it's kind of interesting that I cannot argue that point. But as long as you have someone where people can make their own personal choice of who and what they like, it's like the girl who might have natural hair, right? And she's dark. And the girl who might be fair skinned and her hair is a little wavy. 9 times out of 10, people are going to say the girl with the fair skin and her wavy hair, she's pretty, she's beautiful, or she's desirable. That doesn't mean that the other girl isn't. But the consensus has always been that we have been pre-programmed to what we should like, what we shouldn't like, and things of that nature. Never allow for one individual to just solely say, hey, this is what I like, damn what anyone else says. That can be definitely applied in the sport of boxing. And you've seen it throughout. And it's a shame, because when guys are skillful and at the best and at the class of what the sport has to offer, You should just want to enjoy the merits and their achievements. And when they go out and do the Spartan thing that they do, it's like that's what you support. But I'm sorry, that's not what people do. And I don't know how we get around that, because a lot of people, even right here, will deny that to their dying breath, but they live it every day.
Facts. That's a mic drop right there.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I lurk around, bro. I'm all over the place, and I check a lot of these channels out. See, what happened was Bud Crawford was at a lower weight class, and at 147, the fan base in our community, in let me just say in the black community, black boxing YouTube, I'm gonna put it like that. We was getting behind Earl at 147, and we was getting behind Bud at 135. But when Bud moved up, you had in YouTube, you know, I don't know about Facebook and nothing else, but on YouTube, you have certain groups that'll push certain individuals. So if you have a certain group that's pushing one individual in down in another individual, and when the average fight fan come on YouTube and they hear that, and if you it got to the point where if you was to state your opinion about Bud, you're getting blocked off the channel straight up. So it came to the point where, you know, the disdain, I mean, it just kept building and building. And over time, you know, it just, you know, on YouTube, the boxing fans, people been pushing for Earl at 147. And it's just certain groups that push it. And it just got big, you know, when you got a bunch of different people pushing the same agenda. I mean, the hate for Bud is real, you know. That's what, you know, that's what it is.
Hey man, I pretty much concur, you know, with everything, man. I don't really have no you know, no, I can't disagree. You know, that's what it seemed like. You know, I
Sometimes
mean,
we have to remember that one of the white supremacist mottos is one N at a time. And we're picking up that same narrative. We cannot accept both fighters. It has to be one or the other. It has to be Joshua or it has to be Wilder. It has to be Haney or it has to be Tank. It has to be Crawford or it has to be Spence. But we cannot have what we had in the 90s when it was Tyson versus Holyfield and Tyson versus Lennox Lewis. We don't have that anymore. We have picked up the same narrative of pretty much white supremacist theory, which they say one and at a time. They do it on Hollywood all the time. You can't have a whole bunch of comedians. You notice that? You can have Kevin Hart, or you're going to have somebody else, but you'll never have two or three. They put that model always on Hollywood. Even when they show movies, they show one in the group, but it's never two or three. And we're picking up that same narrative, just like Stormy B was talking about.
we got the big homie Blood Boxing in the building. Retro Blood Boxing documentary. What's good, homie? Go ahead and run. Go ahead and speak your piece.
Hey, what's up, y'all, man? Shout out to everybody on the panel too, man. Dead Game, Stormy B, man, my brother up there, Mark, and you Trap House. Listen, man, when it comes to Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, bro, when I look at guys like Virgil Ortiz and Bruce Ennis, I look at these guys as the guys who could get these pretenders out of here. Because the problem with these guys is they got too caught up in the social media and all of that. They want to be businessmen, and I'm tired of these businessmen type. And they don't even got no money. That's the sad thing about it. And when I say that, I'm not comparing them to me or to you. I'm comparing them to what they're trying to do is do what Floyd Mayweather did and Pacquiao and Bill fights and stuff. When Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao was their age, listen, man, both of them was worth around $200 million. Floyd was worth well over $200 million when he was 31. Pacquiao was worth something similar to what Canelo is worth, well over 100 million, okay? So those guys had money and they had fans who was willing to back them up. The fans of Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, these guys don't buy no pay-per-views, they don't do none of that. And it reflects in the numbers. You up here talking about, I'm not talking about none of you guys, but I'm talking about these crazy-ass fanboys on YouTube. You're talking about $350,000 is a successful pay-per-view and all of that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? The record is over 4 million. These guys ain't got. Terrence Crawford got a net worth of $7 million. No, Errol Spence does. And Terrence Crawford got a net worth of $8 million. So they should have made it happen. And then these two pussy niggas last night was up in the same building and don't want to acknowledge each other and all that kind of stuff. Like they Pacquiao and Mayweather or something. You don't got that kind of money, man. Like I said, I know niggas around here who play for the Gators got more money than both them niggas put together, right? So I'm not going to sit up here and be defending two niggas who are still, in their 30s now, still ain't had no real legendary fights and stuff. I ain't defending that shit, man. They need to get together and make that fight happen. If they don't do it for the fans, fuck both of them. That's the way I see it, man. Fuck both them niggas. And their fans, all of their fans, the extreme fans of pussies, especially Errol Spence fan base. Man, my goodness, man, what the fuck is up with all them damn choir boys, man? Choir boys love Errol Spence, the type of niggas, like I said, that wore them penny loafers, okay, and them holes in the pants and all that shit, the church, high wardens, all that shit. They a bunch of choir boys. I don't follow choir boys. I don't fuck with choir boys. I don't listen to nothing they say on boxing. I'm a dog-ass nigga. I ain't been to church in 30 years, man. So fuck y'all, right? Y'all fucked up a good fight. Y'all taking money out them niggas' pockets because they drinking y'all Kool-Aid. Y'all don't know shit about the sport. All y'all do is build barriers. So fuck, in my opinion, fuck Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence.
Yes, indeed. Blood boxing in the building.
Yeah, because how are they trying to build up a fight when they're not acknowledging each other?
Exactly. But look, now I don't like the fact that Bud said that he wasn't looking for that fight or whatever the case may be. I don't know what the aim was or whatever, but I don't care for that because at the end of the day, they really ain't. Either one of them ain't really got too far to go.
No, hold on, Trap. Let me explain that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Bud is a man. Regardless of hold on, let me finish. Bud is a man. Regardless of whether you like him as a boxer, as a person, outside the ring, whatever, right? And he has accomplished some things in the sport. Earl is really a new champion at 147 after defeating Kell Brook, and then he had a unifying match with Sean Porter. But while he was contending and turning pro, Bud was champion, okay, albeit at lower weight classes. Where is the respect for what he's done? Regardless of people say, well, he hasn't fought a guy as good as this or that. He came up, he accomplished what he accomplished that was on his path. And he turned all challenges back. And now he's on the scene of these men. They have more to gain by defeating him than he has by defeating them. That's a fact. And for Earl, and this thing about talking about how much it's going to cost to make the fight and everything, that is beta male behavior. A freaking diva. These modern skinny jean wearing, pants hanging off their asses type dudes. Okay? Boxing is a warrior sport. If you want to pit your wares against the best that the sport has to offer, you make it happen. You don't put preconditioned motives out there for it not to happen, okay? And try to make somebody scurry up your rear end for it to take place. No, you meet them at the crossroads and say, hey, let's lay down the gauntlet and see who got it. That's what everybody else did, right? Prior to this present era that we find ourselves. So when you say something like, you don't understand what Bud means when he says, hey, that fight, I'm done with it, then you don't really understand the sport like you're supposed to, that you profess to. Because if you know the history of the sport, this is not the way that it was done. What he's saying is he should not be entertained by childish games. That's what he's saying. And Earl, he can enjoy life because he's been given a second chance, a lease on it. Bud wasn't out there wrecking cars and drinking to his heart's content and putting himself in danger's way. The fight could have happened before that accident. But even now, having been given a second chance, he's even more of a diva. And nobody wants to acknowledge that. There are young fighters out here willing to get in there with him right now. You've heard Virgil Ortiz talking about it. You even weeks ago, about a month ago or so, Boots is talking about it because they can see these guys and how they're behaving. And even though they don't have the experience that those men have, they know they have talent and they have ability. And my goodness, if they could just catch them slipping, they can defeat them. So that's what it is. And in the sport of boxing, the truth serum is that ring, that square jungle. That's where it will all come out. And the more that you try to put up roadblocks and stop signs and detours, eventually you're going to step off path. And somebody will be willing and ready to snatch it all from you. Remember, boxing continues on. Eras come and go.
Well said. Well said. The only thing I would say, bro, and because I am a Terrence Crawford fan, bro, and I do like Earl. So because I do like Earl, the only thing I can say in his defense, he did say he was going to fight Terrence Crawford after he catch those belts. Now, I mean, until he don't do that, I can't really go hard on him. They are posturing. They are messing, we talking about it. They are posturing. But Earl did say, I won't catch them belts. I'm going to become undisputed. And the only way to become undisputed is through Bud. So because the belts are on that side of the street with Ugas, he going to catch that belt. And if he go on his word, salute to the brother. If he fight Bud after he fight Ugas, hey, I want to see the fight now. Trust me. But I mean, that's what he said he wanted to do. And look like he's on that path. So, they posturing, but he is on the path that he said he was on.
Yeah. Well, my whole thing with this, and my thing with this is as far as like Bud, what he said, all I'm saying is this: I wouldn't even entertain that question. It ain't about that. I don't understand really what he was trying to do or anything like that. I just wouldn't even entertain. I wouldn't even play that little girl game with him. I would just be like, you ask him. I wouldn't even entertain that shit. I mean, because if it's behind you, you said it the first time. Just it is what it is. Like, why are we still talking about it?
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, though. Can you imagine two of the legendary fighters like Sugar Ray Leonard and Hagler like ignoring each other for 3 years, or Thomas Hearns during the early 80s and not acknowledging each other when they're in the building and all kinds of stuff. They asked Terrence Crawford last night about Errol Spence. He said, I've moved on. I'm going to do something bigger. And then they talked about him fighting Virgil Ortiz, which would be an easy fight to happen because of the side of the street bull crap that they keep making up. But the guy basically said that he's got something bigger planned than Virgil Ortiz. So if you have something bigger planned, I expect to hear something big because you're already not giving us the fight we want. And the next best thing is one of these young guys like Virgil Ortiz. So how could they come and say that Terrence Crawford got something bigger planned when he's not fighting Errol Spence? I don't want to hear next month that he's fighting what's his name, Josecito Lopez, and that's the big fight they got over this kid Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff they pull in boxing now. They asked at the end of the fight, they said Terrence Crawford ain't gonna fight Ortiz because he got something bigger planned. It's not Errol Spence, so who is it? Virgil Ortiz is the next big thing, in my opinion.
Sean Porter. I mean, I bring Sean Porter on. I want Sean Porter.
Yeah,
Bring
Sean
him on
Porter.
right
Now
now.
that would be a good fight. I'm not gonna lie. That would be if that's
Real
the
quick,
fight.
let
If they
me-
present that fight, I'll give them some credit for that. But I don't know, man. It's just too much diva stuff. I keep hearing all this stupid stuff and these dumb titles that I always see on YouTube by these choir boys.
Hold on 1 second. Let me salute some people here. Felix Nunez, salute to you, man. I've been around Felix Nunez. Who else I got here? Supreme Beats Boxing Talk. What's good with you, fam? 704 Joe in the building. I got my main man, Scrapbook Boxing, man. So appreciate you coming in, Scrap. But I got Mad Chad in here. Who else I got in here? I done addressed everybody else, I believe. But yeah, go ahead, keep cooking though, blood.
No, that's all I'm saying, man. Like, I respect both of these guys, man. I like them. Well, I don't know how much I respect them because I don't know. I mean, I've lost some respect for, especially for Errol Spence. But man, I think that they're not giving us what we want. So why should I support their pay-per-views? And them guys who talk about these guys everywhere, they ain't buying no damn pay-per-views. Look at Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence's low numbers. Both of them got low numbers. I don't care if you want to argue over 200 and 300,000 fight fans. When Money Mayweather was worth $250 million when he was your age, then I don't know what to say. But you guys are coming up short. You're coming up short in and out the ring. These guys got no swag about themselves, right? Mayweather had a gimmick for them, okay? Manny Pacquiao got a little bit of something because he's able to go and lead his own people and all that kind of stuff. But these guys ain't them type of guys, man. They ain't them type of guys. They little quiet choir boy type. You know what I'm saying? But more so Errol Spence than Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? But man, it's just at this time, man, I'm expecting big things from these guys. If they don't want to live up, that's up to them. They better take their little $8 and $7 million and hold on to it with their dear life because they ain't nowhere near worth what Floyd Money Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez, and Manny Pacquiao, the guys who really know how to get that money, who know how to hustle. They don't got no hustle about them. Neither one of them, okay? I don't know. I just don't know what it is. But these guys, especially Errol Spence, my goodness, man. You seen that guy, man, outside the ring, how he be acting? That's all I got to say, man.
Hold on, man. Let me salute to Kurt Sugar real quick, man. Salute to Kurt Sugar in the building, man. Salute to you, Kurt, man. I sure appreciate you coming in here, man. Anybody else?
Big Kurt, come on, man. Come on, big bro. Come on the show. We got Stormy B on here.
Oh, man. Yeah,
I want to say something just to tag on to what Blood was just saying. When you those were absolute facts. When you look at you, if you want to pattern yourself after Floyd Mayweather, forget about the Money Mayweather moniker, right? Look at what he's done through his career. He fought great fighters and good fighters. He competed against the best that were out there, the ones who would step in the ring with him. There were guys who went south when he approached them. You know, Shane Mosley and a couple of others, Costa Zoo and those guys, they went the other way. And Floyd was always looking to fight the better fighters because he knew that with each conquering conquest, he knew that added more to him. So at the end of the day, when he started to call for bigger bucks, he couldn't be denied that. These men right now are calling for bigger bucks and they haven't even got their asses wet yet. You understand? Look at who Earl beat for his title. Now, people want to say it was Kell Brook. He beat him over in the UK, this and that. Yeah, but Kell Brook got beaten down by Triple G in a fight that he should not have been in. Okay? So who knows what kind of damage fighting that much bigger guy, besides getting his eye socket busted up, that he had left for Earl, right? People like to say he quit in those late rounds against Earl. Okay, maybe he quit because the fight was beat out of him by Triple G. He wasn't quitting against guys before Triple G. But you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to say that because you still want Earl to be up there. I want to see Earl fight Bud Crawford right now. Forget about the size of the street and all that. He already had a car accident where he damn near died in between, okay? And something can happen between him and the possibility of thinking about fighting Ugas, because that's not a signed fight. It's not on the agenda right now. Something can take place between now and then, just like something can happen between Bud and whoever he's supposed to face. These men need to start stepping up to the plate right now and prove their wares right now. You do it now, you can ask for the money next. But if you haven't done anything, you can't expect me to get on that gravy train. I've seen it before. You understand? And it's like there are a lot of so-called what we call pretenders out here. Pretenders. I don't even like to call these guys today champions. I call them titleists. You know why? Because the titles can be transferred, they can be stripped, they can be lost to a guy that you shouldn't have lost to and everything, AJ and Ruiz. And it happens all the time. Champions reign. They stamp their name and legacy in the annals of history where you look up there and say, that was a champ. Okay? That's the real deal. Not what these guys are doing today. And I keep saying it, man. It's like, stop giving credit where it hasn't even been earned. So you're beating up on a bunch of showcase guys. So what? Let's see you go out there against guys where people, when they look at it on paper, I don't know who's going to win this one. Because now you got to show yourself. And guess what? Everybody has a bone or a skeleton in the closet. If you want to talk about somebody's bad things or whatever, we all have them. We're living in a social media age now where almost all your business can be put out on Front Street anyway. So you might as well walk the right path. And if you want someone to give you merit, credit, kudos, and accolades, earn it. That's the old-fashioned way. I ain't passing nothing to you.
Hey, let me say this though. Let me give you a scenario, and I think this scenario can happen. Okay, Earl Spence. Not Earl Spence, Bud Crawford. I heard him talking a lot of Oscar De La Hoya is talking a lot about Earl. I've been hearing a lot of he's talking about, I mean, not Earl, about Bud a lot. So what Bud needs to do to become a superstar right now, Bud needs to move up to 154 and fight Oscar De La Hoya's fighter who got that belt. He need to get that belt from Oscar De La Hoya's fighter at 154 and fight Charlo for undisputed. And then by that time, he can go back down and fight Earl for undisputed. To me, that will make him like a superstar beyond superstar if he could do that. That would be that's what I would do if I was pushing him. Go get that belt from Oscar De La Hoya's fighter, then fight Charlo. That fight would be stupid. That fight would be stupid. Charlo, Bud, shit. That might be bigger than Earl Bud. Because Charlo. Go ahead.
Castanos is signed with PBC. He
Oh, I
already
thought
beat Texura.
okay, I was getting them mixed up. Well, that would be hard to do, but 154, I would go catch Charlo. Try, but that's still
let me ask
PBC.
y'all a question. So what if he do go up to 154 and fight Charlo before he fight Earl Spence? Like, how is that gonna look?
If he fights Charlo and defeats Charlo without fighting Earl Spence first, there's no need for Earl Spence then. I mean, what's the point? He just took on the biggest task. That's bigger than Spence. Because it's almost an impossible task that everybody would think about. You know, Charlo's real big. You know, Earl Spence was always making this claim about how Crawford is so small. And then if Crawford goes up there and beat Jamel, that Spence talk would go out the window, you know. Smith's gonna have to do something because I mean, who he gonna fight next? I mean, Yugas is actually asking for 50-50 right now. Is he gonna give it to him?
Facts.
Well, Ugas better sit back and be quiet because Ugas can't really demand nothing. He got to take what he can get. That's what Ugas need to do.
Ugas
Shit,
got the belt. Ugas
Ugas
can go
in
and
the
fight his
man.
mandatory.
Look, man, Ugas is in the driver's seat, bro. Ugas got the key puzzle, man. Ugas can demand 50-50 from Earl. Even though he's not a 50-50 fight with Earl, but for that key piece, shit, Ugas can demand 50-50 from Bud right now. For that, actually, if I was Bud, I would give Ugas 50-50. Easy work right now. Man, I'd give Ugas a side right now if I was Bud.
I hear you. It sounds easier said than done. I don't think no team gonna just. I mean, I don't know, bro. I can't say yeah or nay. I can't say yeah or nay, but I don't know, man. They just need to do something. Somebody they need to fight. I want to see Earl and Bud fight right now. Period.
Me too. Me too.
That's what I want. I'm tired of all the little shenanigans, the games, the little strategic. I want to fight him to get leverage. Like, yeah, okay, we get all that. But damn, I mean, this whole thing with Ugas, I felt like that was a ploy anyway. They come with some more bullshit reason to strip Manny Pacquiao, talking about Ryan Garcia and all that. Like, come on, man. Yeah, y'all just took the whole focus off of what's really going on by stripping Manny Pacquiao.
They didn't even offer Manny Pacquiao a fight. They didn't order Manny Pacquiao anything. They just stripped Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
And
I
no
know
one
he
said
was on
nothing.
another division, but I mean, goddamn. Now we got Ugas in the play. We starting all over. It's like chase the tail again, all over again.
Hey, let me ask you this, Trap. If you was Ugas and you just got that belt, you just become champion, bro. Now let's keep it real. Would you jump in there with Bud or Earl right now? Wouldn't you get a little shine? Wouldn't you defend your title a little bit? I'm just keeping it real.
Well, you got to look at this. I wouldn't because Ugas is older, for one, and Ugas ain't the type of guy like you got to think about it. He Cuban. He ain't got time to be playing around with nobody to get a little shine to get robbed. He need to get his payday and move up to 154 and retire. That's what Ugas need to do. I'm looking at all that. Well, how old Ugas is? 30 what? He older than both of them, right? Old.
I don't know. I think Ugas is older than both of them.
Yeah, Ugas down there 40 years old. To get his little money and move around. That's what the fuck Ugas need to do. Get your money and move around, homie, because you done. Ugas ain't. What can Ugas do?
Man, these guys ain't no real champions, man. They gave him the belt anyway. The belt was elevated to him, so it's like it's a bunch of bullcrap.
He need to get that little money and step and let these dudes fight and keep it moving. That's it.
If I was Ugas, I'd try to bait Pacquiao to get that belt.
Yeah, he get a bag from Pacquiao. Shit, man. Like I say, Ugas got a key spot, man. Keith Thurman should be dying for that fight, bro. That's the fight Keith Thurman need to get. Ugas. Come on, man. Keith Thurman, that's the fight that Keith Thurman need right there. Ugas. And then
but you just said it. Ugas is in the driver's spot. Ugas ain't looking at Keith Thurman. Ugas looking for a payday, a big payday, and move around a belt. I mean, why would he fight Keith Thurman? What good is that gonna do to him when he could possibly lose?
yeah, you're right. You're right.
No, that don't make sense at this point.
Will we ever have a undisputed welterweight champion? Because it seems like, you know, the belts are just being like a hot potato passed around. It's really weird. Like as soon as everyone was talking about the undisputed welterweight champion, all of a sudden there's these big divides that fights can't be made. because someone has a belt. And then at the same time, we're going to also have a problem with what? Earl Spence going to have 2 mandatories coming up.
Undisputed has become it has become undervalued because the sanctioning bodies have imposed themselves so much that it is not beneficial or an economic sensibility for a championship fighter who is undisputed to hold all of those titles when so much money gets taken off of their back. See, that's what people don't think about as well. It looks good to have all the hardware, which is why Floyd only carried the hardware of the divisions that he had defeated and the champions that he had defeated, but he didn't have undisputed, but he was the man in the sport. You see the psychology, how people can be dismayed and also influenced by something that they don't even understand. You see, that's how you win. You win by beating the best guys. You pick them off left, right, front, and center. You can call your value off of that. You can name your price off of that. But you can't collect this hardware and still win economically. That's what these idiots don't realize. They don't know. They call themselves following Floyd's pattern, all right? But they're doing it the total wrong way. And you can only learn that for yourself. Nobody can tell you. You have to learn it for yourself. And these guys can't see. You can't even follow the formula that has been set for you that is visible. So how can somebody whisper in your ear what you might want to consider doing? Because everybody think they know where they think they know better, right? But until you walk that path yourself, that's when you discover what the truth is. When you beat the guys that you need to knock off, right there at that division, you got 5 guys who are names that if you knock them off, you're the man. If you knock off at least 3 of them, you can still be considered the man. But they don't understand this. They keep posturing and everything. They're talking about who's an A side and who's a B side and everything. The only side you're showing is your ass because you don't know a damn thing. Because can't nobody tell you nothing. That's why I said boxing remains. The eras come and go, just like these idiots.
Yeah,
Right.
and another. Go ahead, Blood.
No, I agree with what Stormy B Man is saying, man. Father Time is not going to wait for these fighters, man. I've seen whole careers go by here on YouTube. In a few more years, it's going to be up for these guys, and these guys ain't even made no solid money yet. And the problem is they're fanboys. They listen too much to their fanboys, man. They need to step out and be warriors and be gladiators. There's a reason why they're in the ring, and the fanboys and all of us are sitting at home talking about it. They need to go out there and prove themselves and stop trying to brand. Because even they're doing all this branding and still ain't getting them no money. They nickel and diamond on these pay-per-views, and they're not even pay-per-view fighters yet. To be real with you, I don't even know if that Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence, I don't know if they'll do 500,000, man. These guys are jokers, man. And I'm really fucking with neither one of them. I prefer Terrence Crawford. I think that it's Errol Spence's fault why the fight didn't happen. And because of that, man, I'll never support nothing Errol Spence does ever again.
Let me say this, and I've been like this king of the welterweight division talk. Let me clear this up. I mean, because I got a different stance on this. To me, it ain't no king of the welterweight division because ain't nobody undisputed in there. And they keep saying Earl's the king of the welterweight, like because he got 2 of the belts. What the hell does that mean? I mean, yeah, he got maybe the bigger name, but he's not the king of the welterweight division. At the end of the day, we don't know who the hell the king is. I mean, last time I checked, Manny Pacquiao still might be the king of the welterweight division.
That's who's everybody chasing, Pacquiao. So he must be. If Pacquiao said he want to fight any of those welterweights out right now, which one would say no?
None of them. But can somebody explain this to me? What does it mean to be the champion that Pacquiao is? Is he like an interim, and can he call that championship fight at any time? Like, can anybody explain to me what it means to be the type of champion he is right now?
Pacquiao's the type of guy, man, who's actually overcome or surpassed the belt. You know what I'm saying? The belt now is as valuable as the guy toting the belt. So Pacquiao, in my opinion, is just one of those old school fighters that was around at the beginning of social media. He's one of the last guys out there that was around at the beginning of social media when they transferred everything over to these reporters online and all of that stuff. He was able to build up a really solid fan base with social media, which was a new tool back then. These other guys are just a bunch of followers. They're not none of the originals that was around when social media came around. The originals was like guys like Miguel Cotto, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, guys like that. These other guys today, they're trying to live off of what Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather built on social media, right? So there's a lot of differences between him and these other champions because he was around a long time ago. He established a solid foundation. And now these guys are relying on fighting an old man when they should be fighting each other. Manny Pacquiao at this stage should be able to do what he want to do. If he's holding up the division, just come off the belt and, let's get it popping with these younger guys. Why y'all looking for a fight with Pacquiao? Y'all should be trying to build your own legacy. You giving Pacquiao the power to just hold up the division with y'all dreaming on banking on the fight with him. And these guys don't deserve no fight with Manny Pacquiao, especially Errol Spence.
Anybody else got something they want to say about that?
It doesn't matter how you package it, man. We still keep coming back to the actual facts. What Blood's been saying, what I've been saying. The whole thing is that if you are trying to put yourself in a position to be undisputed, even the guys that you may get the titles from don't equate to you haven't beat the best. You still only collected hardware. You can actually go out there and beat these other guys like Bud Crawford. He could go out there and beat Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Ugas or whatever, because he has another strap. And the thing is that if he's beating quality fighters, that's where that respect comes. That's where the paydays come, because you're doing something. If you're going to continue to harbor and wait and hope for to collect these trinkets and whatnot, in the meantime, the sanctioning bodies will create 2 or 3 more of them. So you got to go and get 2, 3 more of those. And in the meantime, you're not beating the best fighters. What are you going to do? And then one of the guys who might be holding a little bit of value along with a trinket might get elevated to franchise. So now you can't even fight that dude because they're not going to give you the respect that you really rightfully earned in the ring, because they say he can't lose it in the ring. If he happens to be somebody that they don't want it to be non-transferable, you see, because they keep coming up with all these stupid rules and in these games that they keep you divided, and the people buy into it. They sit up here and they get on chat boards and stuff like this where we are now, and they get to debating and arguing and fussing over the stuff, and they don't get down to the real actual fact, and that is you win by defeating and conquering your opponent.
Facts,
If you ask me, the fact that Earl Spence don't want to go after Terrence Bud Crawford says more about him than it does about Terrence Bud Crawford. But you guys make Terrence Bud Crawford the enemy. Okay? He's come up. And now you guys are talking about he should go up to 154 too? How many weight classes should he go up?
Say that again. Say it again.
He got to go up and fight Tyson Fury after all of this, because y'all just think that he should wait until Earl collects all the other belts, and in the meantime, he got to go face Canelo and Beterbiev and Bivol and everybody when he was right freaking there. And 2 guys who have name and also merit, Manny Pacquiao, are not going to get in the ring with him. They're not. So what are you waiting for? And who are you going to blame? Bud? Like he said, if he stopped today, he get in the Hall of Fame. But because he didn't fight who you thought was your guy or who you thought he should fight, that takes away from his accomplishments?
Not at
Earl
all.
still got work to do. And don't forget this. If he decides after gathering all the trinkets, right, and he goes up to 154, his good buddy is up there at 154. Are they going to fight each other? And I'll tell you now, they may have sparred thousands of rounds in the gym, right? But that man at 154 will turn his freaking lights out. Because he's probably, if not the number one fighter in the sport, he's 1A or 1B. Because I think Bud is number one. So they're right there neck and neck. So let your boy go up there and fight him. Because that's who needs to do that. Because you guys have given him all the accolades anyway. And in the meantime, while Bud got to do the horse and pony trick for you, huh? He should be go out there, get his sleeves rolled up, and get that work.
Yeah. Let me salute to Reggie Owens in the building, man. Salute to you, brother. Salute to Ronald Finkler in the building, man. Yeah, man. I totally agree with you, bro. I totally agree with you, man.
You know what messed it up, bro? What messed it up is that when people started telling Bud that he should take the 60-40. I mean, you guys have heard Bud talk several times, man. We've been alive for a long time. All right. He already said that he pretty much don't respect anybody's boxing opinion except for people who's been in the ring. So you think he's going to sit there and listen to a bunch of guys who don't fight tell him to take 60-40 because they want him to take 60-40? No, man, that guy got total Libra traits. He ain't going to do that, man. He's going to do exactly the opposite of what the people, he's not going to do nothing to satisfy people that he don't like, especially if they trying to be all judgmental over him and tell him what he's worth. You can't tell another man what he's worth, especially when you got two guys negotiating over 300,000 or 400,000 fight fans of views or something like that. These guys, the only way they're going to become something big and go to that next level is to behave like Mayweather and Pacquiao behaved early in their career.
Yeah, and look, and this is another thing I want to address real quick is that I can't understand for the life of me why everybody is glorifying what Earl Spence done at 147. This dude campaigned at 147 his whole career. He beat Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. Okay, now Danny Garcia ain't beat nobody at 147. He got a vacant title. He got a vacant belt. He fought for a vacant belt. Let's be real here. Sean Porter, he ain't did nothing at 147. He lost to everybody. What the fuck has Earl Spence done until he beat Keith Thurman or Bud or Manny Pacquiao? He really ain't did shit. True.
One of his claims to fame was he beat Bundu better than I think.
Nah. That ain't gonna get it, Jack. That ain't gonna get it.
How long has Earl Spence been a welterweight? He's been like, what, 11 or 12 years, right?
Yeah.
How long has Crawford been a welterweight?
So about three years, maybe, if that.
And they actually going to compare those two careers.
You can't, bro. Earl Spence ain't did nothing at welterweight. Realistically speaking.
Algieri.
You said Algieri?
Algieri. Dropped Algieri. Bundu. He had the good fight in England with Brook. He beat the Mexican over there. He sold out that stadium. He beat that Mexican Campos. What was his name? What was the Mexican's name?
Yeah, my bad.
Ocampo.
Campo. He beat Ocampo. He sold out that stadium. He beat Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia came up. He beat Mikey. He ain't did nothing, bro. I mean, he did something. He did something. Let me say, he beat these guys impressively. So the eye test. So we're gonna look at the eye test. That's all we can do. We want to see the fight. We know Earl good. We just want to see him fight against a good fighter, and that's the fight to be made. But like I say, that fight, we want it now. But shit, Earl gonna try and catch that other belt he might didn't like it. Somebody just say mandatory is gonna come up. So I don't know, bro. It's not
But,
looking
but,
promising.
but look, and I'm saying this. All I'm saying is this: they want to talk about what somebody did. Like, no matter how you want to look at it, shit. If you really want to argue about it, I mean, no matter how they want to talk about Jeff Horn, he lost. Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao. That's just the truth. He lost. He beat him, and Bud beat the guy. So I mean, what are we arguing about here? No matter how long he been there, fight the guy. He did what he needed to do to get in position. That's all I'm saying. They just keep creating barrier walls over and over again. Anybody got something to say?
Shit,
Man,
man.
he got quiet up in here all of a sudden, man. I ordered
You know,
him too.
because it looked like the fight ain't happening. Everybody is like, damn, Samba, damn. Whereas the more we break it down, the more we see that the fight don't look like it's happening soon, for sure.
Yeah. Well,
I had a show that I did last year when I said that Bud Crawford and Earl Spence was not going to happen. That fight's not going to happen. There may be some negotiations and everything or whatever, but you can't make a man who don't want to do what he needs to do his job. You can't. That's why people get fired. You understand? But in this instance of what we speak, nobody's getting fired, but people will create an excuse, a par gras, to make sure that their man is okay. And in this position right here, that person who shoulders that responsibility is Earl Spence. Now, for all you guys out there that think you're smart, I'm going to show you how dumb you are. Because when you go out there and you throw all your support behind someone like this and you make the calls that, you know, he's the best and this and that, and he should do such and such and forth, you know, all of that, that's fine. But at the end of the day, what defines the person is the challenges that he takes on. And if you want to put a price on whether or not you're willing to step up and face a challenge, you're now given an excuse as to why you're really not a champion, but a titleist. Titleists will look to preserve what they have and hold on as long as they can until the sanctioning bodies find ways to step in. And then they'll even vacate, you know, and go grab something else. But if you want to grab legacy by the throat, you go right out there to that other man's house, just like a young Cassius Clay did many years ago, camped out on Sonny Liston's lawn with a bullhorn, showed up at the casino where Sonny liked to hang out with a bullhorn. Everywhere Sonny went, Cassius was there. He was breathing down his neck. And you know what? Sonny said, I'm going to knock this young chump out. Let me fight him. And he lost his title and a new era began. That's what happens. You see, not guys saying, well, if you get a tetanus shot and show me your GED and all of this, I'll fight you then. Huh? Not for guys who say, well, if it's going to be, you know, 80-20 and this and that, you know, then I'll accept you and bring you in. No, you just step right to the plate. You step right to the plate. Marvin Hagler gave up so many concessions to fight Sugar Ray Leonard, to Sugar Ray Leonard's turns and requests, that it's a wonder that the fight ended up as close as it did, because Hagler had a lot stacked against him. But he wanted the fight. He wanted Leonard on the other side of that ring against him. And he got that. He made that happen. So for those of you who think that this hasn't happened before, it really has. But the real warriors seek out the challenges. They don't run from the challenges. And those who may not be quite assured of themselves will put those preventive measures in clauses in the contracts, in also, you know, weights and this and that, and the size of the ring and the ounces of the gloves and so forth and so on. The men who don't really want it to happen, they're the ones concerned with that. The true fighters are the ones that says, where's the contract? What's the date? I'll be there. What's the venue? That's what they do. So again, for you guys that think you're smart, you're not really smart. This has happened before, over and again. And a number of fights didn't take place through history for that same result. Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis. Okay? So it's like we've seen these things before. I don't say anything that you all shouldn't know, because if you check your history and you pay attention and keep your ear to the ground, you can actually see. That's why you should be a fan of the sport and not the individual. The individuals come and go. The sport has remained. And there will be guys 10 years from now, you'll be talking about same type of subject, same type of situation. And the guys that you're speaking of today will be gone.
Yeah, that's a fact. Well, that's true, man. Anybody got any little closing words? Let me shout out to somebody real quick who just made it into his shout out to Zeno Cades. I don't know how to pronounce your last name, but salute to you, fam. And all right, blood. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate you stopping through, fam. Made me want to order some of that. But no, T-Town Cruz, Bud ain't all talk, bro. He really do want that smoke. Your boy don't want that smoke. But anybody got any little closing word?
Yeah, I just want to say, they had a little fighter. Ronnie Shields had a little fighter, and shit, I think we might want to keep our eye out for this little cat. He fought on the undercard. Ronnie Shields, little fighter, but nah, man, it was a pleasure to jump on, man. Shit, man, y'all keep up the good work, and it was just a pleasure, man. Peace out.
Yeah. Hey, T-Town Cruz. I probably don't. But you know why? Because I totally agree with his stance that he taking. I don't think that he should take no 60-40. You know what I mean? And Earl said that out of his mouth. Nobody really made Bud an offer, to be honest with you. But I mean, why should he have the budget move?
Hey, let's squash this 60-40. What about the rest of the saying that Earl Spence said? He said 60-40 or 70-30 or
80-20, whatever we
80-20 or whatever they offer you. Who is the they? When did they offer anything to Crawford?
Never.
Who was the they anyway? So Earl Spence is not the one that's going to make this offer. It's supposed to be the they that's supposed to make this offer.
There you go.
But they don't quote this. All they do is latch on to the first part of the saying, then they go running with it as though they was making an actual offer. Bo Mack actually said when someone addressed him about that, he said there never was an offer. We haven't even gotten that far.
No,
they haven't even started
bro.
negotiations.
I'm just not falling for Earl Spence foolery, man. I ain't falling for that, bro. I ain't falling for that, bro. You come on, man. Don't say he ain't fought no type fighters. But anyway, I'm gonna let you have that T-Town Crew. I sure appreciate you stopping through, showing love, homie. Ain't no love lost, bro. I ain't gonna go back and forth with you on that. You know what I mean? You feel how you feel, I feel how I feel. But yeah, but anyway, man. Anybody got any closing words? Storm, you got anything on close out on?
I just thank you for your live stream this afternoon. It gave us another chance to talk boxing. I was listening in quite a bit before I jumped on. Thank you for having me on. Salute to the brothers that were on here before I got on, as well as everybody that was on just until a moment ago. I like that you're doing this now, Trap House. It give me a chance to get on here and hear you talk your boxing and everything, which is a good thing. So, hey, I look forward to more of this. And, thanks to everybody that's out there in the chat offering up whatever they have to offer, because the conversation rules the nation. That's what we do. We have boxing talk. But Yeah, thanks again for having me, and I look forward to working with you again soon.
Man, I appreciate you coming on, bro, and I appreciate you, being happy to be on the show, man. So, like I said, like you said, man, we're gonna continue to have more sessions, jab sessions, so we're gonna keep building, for the sport of boxing. So, other than that, man, we're gonna close out. I appreciate everybody loaning their ear. Much love to everybody, and I'll holler at y'all. And peace.
Peace.
Peace.